West Coast Avengers. West Coast Avengers. Ah! Ah! Hello, good evening, happy Sunday, Super Sunday. It is another episode of SunDAVE Sitdown, and my special guest tonight is Todd McFarlane. I mean, the 9.9
Right.
newsstand.
Happy Super Sports Sunday, my friend.
Yes, happy Super Sports, Super Bowl, happy Let's Go team. Yeah, I mean, I used to love the Super Bowl. I used to work Super Bowl events, and you know, I just don't care anymore.
What do you mean you used to work Super Bowl events? What does that mean?
So the company I worked for before the big bad, as I like to call it, Covey the Panda hit.
Covey? Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah. Covey the Panda.
Covey the Panda hit. I worked, and I still do every once in a while, but I worked for a company that did live and silent auctions at charity events.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and one of our big things was Super Bowl week. We would work more events humanly possible in 4 days than humanly possible.
Events and conventions, man. I commend you because I can't do it.
Takes a special bunch of souls to work events and conventions. And, you know, some of the events were great. You know, I've worked at the Playboy Mansion before. I've worked at the ESPYs. I've worked at the GLAAD Awards. I've worked at, you know, all these fun things, but it's a lot. It's a lot.
What was working at the Playboy Mansion like?
Well, let's get into that. Hi, Amber. Good evening.
Hello.
So I worked 2 years in a row. How's the audio, by the way? Can you hear me well?
I can hear you perfectly. I know mine is screwing up, so I'm gonna fix that. I just logged into YouTube. I'm almost caught up to where I'm supposed to be by now.
Okay. So during the ESPY Awards, which were the ESPN Awards, you know, like the Oscars, we used to do a pre-party for, I don't remember what charity it was, but for some charity at the Playboy Mansion. And I get there at like noon and set up all these tables of auction items and stuff like that. And it was wild. It was absolutely wild. The Playboy Mansion was basically, it's an event space. Like,
right.
Hugh didn't live there. RMS, what's going on?
What up, RMS?
And so the Playboy Mansion was an event, you know, they would just have events, but literally it was just, they'd have a couple of models there, but it was like, it was just a wild thing where like there was football players there, and then there was all these women and people there trying to like rub elbows or rub other things. And
my Dave.
Oh yeah, I see you. I hear you.
Oh, there you. There are football players there, you said.
Yes, there were football players there. There were women and men there trying to rub elbows. There was famous people there. It was just like a weird experience when I went to go to the bathroom, and I opened the bathroom door, and there was some woman crying, surrounded by her friends, and she was topless. Uh-oh.
Did you console her?
No, I just like, I gotta go. You know, it was very awkward. It was a very awkward moment.
Yeah.
So I worked events, and I had a completely different lifestyle and life previous to Covey the Panda.
Covey the Panda. All right. I don't think I'm having any more technical issues.
Okay.
So I think I'm here with you completely, except I haven't moisturized yet, and I got to moisturize. I have my lotion. I'm going to be doing that live.
I probably should have done that too, because my hands are going to be on the stream. But well, it is what it is.
Can you tell me about this book? Can you tell me about this fun thing?
All right. You want to go into it real quick before we go into it? If you and I mean you and anybody else watching, don't forget to watch the episode I dropped this morning. Comic Tim took over my channel, and listen, okay, I'm Comic Tim. We all know this.
Listen.
What I did today was something that I like to do every once in a while. I like to flex my creative comedic muscles, and to me, this episode of Comic Tim's Top 10 Takeover, I couldn't have had more fun doing that, even if I tried. So if you haven't watched it, please watch it, share it around like the plague. Let's get Comic Tom to invite me on his channel as Comic Tim.
So. Man, I see a beautiful romance brewing.
All right. What did Comic Tim do? Make women cry? Well, he usually does. That is the truth. I try not to, but he does. John Salisbury, good evening. A couple of things.
Good evening, John.
Don't forget to follow Manu, the 9.9 Newsstand, on Instagram at the 9.9 Newsstand. And
thank you kindly.
And don't forget to subscribe to Spidey Hits, because so far right now, Monday night, you co-host the Marvel show.
Right. And it's supposed to be like regularly scheduled Sundays, but life is life, and it's been sort of regularly scheduled Mondays. So tomorrow we'll be on the Marvel show. And
I'll be in there saying hello and eating up the chat.
Thank you, my friend. Thank you. It's not the same without you, that's for sure.
Amber, I'm sorry, I am Comic Tim. This is the truth. All right, so let's talk about this right here. Let's talk about this beautiful piece. So you've seen, the first episode that I ever did of this show was me and you went through the Todd McFarlane Spider-Man Artist Edition. And
indeed.
So in 2019,
Andrew P, what up?
Andrew P is in the house.
Yeah.
So this is Vault Edition 2. So Spawn Vault Edition 1, I think, came out around 2016, 2017, and it's the first 5 or 6 issues of Spawn, which Todd, drew and inked. And because he only did the first 12 issues completely, this is the second edition. This covers, I want to say, I didn't even look at it yet, but let's see what it covers real quick, and then we'll get to the covers.
How are all of your books so big? You got all the big books, and you know what's funny about the Wizard poster book? It's called the Big Covers book. It's like not big at all.
Yeah, it's not. It's a regular size book. This covers issue 8, 9, 10, and 11. So one of it is the most famous Spawn issue, the Angela issue, number 9. You get the original art in here. I have not looked through any of the art yet, but I say we jump into it. I'm going to give away some Spawn books tonight too. But yeah, I'm going to give away a couple of Spawn books, and I have a comic to show you and the audience that's going to blow everybody's mind. Okay.
Excitement me.
Okay. You know what? Let's start out with this. So everybody talks about, we're talking about Spawn. If you don't know Spawn, you might be living under a comic rock. But just in case, Spawn, created by Todd McFarlane, his first and his Image flagship title when they start Image, and the rest is history. One of the longest running independent comic book of all time, and one of our favorite characters. Amber, well, back to work. We will see you in a little while.
No, Amber. Okay. Thank you.
So people talk about the Spawn cape and the Spawn character being echoed on that Batman 423 cover, right?
I consider it like the prototype of the first appearance of the cape is what I consider 423.
And it is the first appearance of the cape, but there's a little known story that Todd did that really is the proto Spawn in a comic book. He created Spawn when he was younger.
That Bone guy?
No, not Bone. I'm saying here's a little hidden Todd. Now,
oh gosh,
have you ever seen this before? Spectacular Spider-Man Annual number 10.
You're gonna let it take us over, right? You're gonna make that one bigger than all of us on the screen, right? Because I want to see this thing.
Let's do that real quick. Not me. All right. So in the pages of Spectacular Spider-Man Annual number 10 is a full Todd story of the Prowler. The Prowler, the Spider-Man villain that turns out to be Miles Morales' uncle.
Right.
Well, why don't you look at what the first page of this thing looks like? That's Spawn there.
That's Spawn. Yeah, I've heard. Yes, that is Spawn.
That is Spawn right there. And there's another, look at that. Tell me that's not, that is Spawn right there.
Completely.
So he's giving us the cape of Spawn. He's giving us the look of Spawn. A couple years before, maybe it was about a year and change before Spawn #1 comes out. So not an expensive book for anybody to own. Like I said, it's hidden in the pages of Spectacular Spider-Man Annual number 10. But just a little, wanted to show that off because I was going through a box of books and I was like, oh, I don't know if Manu has ever seen this before.
So this Annual 10 is before 423?
No, it's not. It's after 423, but Batman, I mean, the cape may look like that, but that's Spawn's mask right there.
This is Spawn's face. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that is Spawn's mask right there. So
yeah,
a little fun treat for everybody watching early on. And so let's take a look at this. So every edition of this book and the first one comes signed. They only did
it's like actually signed.
Yeah, that's actually signed. Yeah.
Cool.
So when they released the first one, they released it and they said, that they're all signed. And I don't remember if the first Vault edition, I don't own it. It's very expensive. What's up, Mattis? What up, Vic?
Wait a second. I was about to say Vic says sup, Dave. And even though he said sup, Dave, I'm still going to say sup, Vic. And Mattis is with us. Mattis Mac, what up?
That's right. That's right. Friends of the channel. Friends forever. If you say anything different,
that's right,
I will come and find you. Oh, I forgot.
It's good that you finished that sentence.
I know I did. I know.
Yeah.
I thought in my brain. I started a Discord. I don't know. Everybody told me I should start a Discord. If you look in the description below, there's a link to the Discord. I don't know anything about Discord. I'm gonna figure it out. But if you want to keep the conversation going when we're not on the air, the Discord is there. That rhymed. All right. So
Pardon Comic Freak, what up?
Who? Oh, I'm not seeing that person. That's weird. Oh, there we go.
Brand new message.
Hey, what's up, Card Comic Freak? I was about to say that don't sound right. Listen, some things don't sound right, all right? Just like the word awkward. AWKWARD. It's weird. Anyway.
Okay, I gotta say something that doesn't sound right. First of all, Dave, I think my internet is sloppy, so just let me know if it is.
Okay.
But one thing that doesn't sound right to me, it's not a pet peeve or anything. It's just something I kind of like think people should maybe use different words. When they talk about slabbing a book, right? I don't think the sentence "slab it up" should be said. Slab it up.
It doesn't sound right.
If you can't hear what that sounds like, nah, stop that right now.
I've never used that term before. I've never used that term before. So I'm safe.
It's going around.
I'm safe. Hey, Mattis, we got one of the young kids, one of the young folk here telling me, sure, I do need help.
Yeah, that's the man Mattis.
That's all right.
Oh, Mattis will hold you down. That's Mattis's generation there.
That's right. That's right. So so I think the first edition comes signed, but the cool thing about the second edition, and it also might hold true for the first edition of this book, he did 100 sketches and randomly inserted them in the books. So they all come sealed. You have a chance to get a McFarlane sketch from one of these books.
Whoa.
Only 100 of them. So really hard.
Are there still like this book? Is this book still like available sealed on eBay and stuff?
Yes, it is. It's not cheap, but yes, it is.
Yeah. What's not cheap? Just like reference what is not cheap.
Well, okay. I think the first one's like a $400 book. And I think this one's like a $250 book.
Okay.
Yeah. So not super expensive, just not cheap. I don't know, Vic. I don't know how old you are versus how old Mattis is, but I think Mattis is 18. So every one of these books comes signed. You get a really nice, fat, giant Todd McFarlane signature on it. And away we go. So Todd supposedly has every single has most of his original artwork from Spawn. Yeah, he kept it all, which makes sense because I think he was a little, he realized that he shouldn't have sold some of that ASM stuff. Even in the 90s, I think he knew that he had made a mistake. Younger than 15, yeah. And I like this. Angela, Count Nicholas Cagliostro, and Medieval Spawn, co-created by Todd McFarlane and Neil Gaiman. That lawsuit left a mark on Todd, and then they talk about how issue 9, the Angela issue, is the most expensive comic ever made because of the millions he lost to Neil Gaiman. So,
That
okay.
makes sense.
Yeah. So I was wrong. It's issue 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15.
I told you.
Yeah. It does.
Yeah.
It does. We're going to see some of the Dave Sims stuff in here very soon. Look at that. Oh,
Dude,
here it is.
This
here
is
it is. Wait.
Spawn number 8. Let's go.
And there it is. After me. Did you, when you were younger, like me?
Yeah.
Did you buy
Yeah.
Spawn when it came out at all?
I was buying Spawn books. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, I feel like I can't remember anybody in my life that was a McFarlane fan that didn't buy Spawn when it came out. Like, I don't know anybody that was like, I'm done.
No, if Spawn didn't exist, nothing for me would be the same. I mean, we loved Spider-Man, of course, but it's everything that McFarlane did is a culmination. Like that's why we're where we are now. It wouldn't be the same without Spawn. What would it even be without Spawn? Come on, Spawn was what made everybody, get sharper and be on their toes. Like Spawn did that for everything.
And it was a new character for us. It was like something that we'd never seen before. What up, Armando?
Yeah. My guy. Okay, look, you're going to see me disappear, but I'm going to come right back. I'm fixing something. Give me 5 seconds. I'll be back.
Okay.
You guys play nice.
My first exposure to Spawn was the movie and the New King Spawn series. Very interesting. A very interesting 2 things to have your first exposure be. The movie was whatever. The movie was fun. The movie wasn't really good, but it was fun. And then King Spawn, obviously a big deal coming out, in the last couple years. So what would McFarlane be without Infinity Inc., though? That's a good question. There he is. He's back.
Now you're in my ear. Now I'm not yelling into a room. I'm actually speaking into this microphone. Now.
Yeah, I'm speaking into the microphone. That's where my finger is, right there.
You're fancy.
I'm trying. So this is issue 8, the Billy Kincaid issue, where Billy Kincaid goes to hell. I've never seen this stuff, the original art for this before. I mean, it's crazy because we looked at the Spider-Man stuff together, and this looks like on a different level. This is really like his
crazy.
This is like the pinnacle of his art skills. I don't think he was getting, like it's all kind of downhill after these issues. But then again, it's kind of like the last time he ever did a full book. Look at this page. This thing's insane.
Yep. He didn't have any limitations. He didn't have nobody to tell him he can't do that. And he made magic.
That's, I think, one of the reasons why a lot of people, and I don't know what the personality type is. I'm not one of those people, but I think that's why a lot of us love Todd, is because of the fact that he wanted to do his own thing without having to answer to anybody.
You bet. You bet.
You know? Love this.
I still love that about him.
Yeah, for sure. His output's different than what it is, than what it used to be. But I still love him and his business sense. But his art is what made me love comics. It really is. I don't know.
Andrew says,
you can read it.
Oh, you got it on the screen. I'll read it. He said, I don't know anyone that passed on it. The cover didn't look like anything else on the shelf in the shop, especially the first issue. Even if you didn't buy it, you knew it was there. Beauty, absolutely, dude. And issue number 2 is sick as well. Like, it was just killer cover after killer cover, man.
It was, and the interiors were bad. I mean, like, it's hard to kind of put your opinion into 2 places. But if his work on Spider-Man, I don't even think it wasn't as prolific, but if it wasn't as lasting as it was, I think this is better. Like, it's hard to separate the 2, but the difference is that the story on this didn't really go anywhere, whereas like his Spider-Man stories kind of did. But man, the character of Spawn, it was the first time in my life that I remember finding a new, like a ground level on a new character. That
Hmm.
wasn't part of Marvel. That wasn't part of DC. That wasn't in a universe that had already existed.
Yeah,
So,
and I agree with you. I think Todd did a better job on his Spawn stuff artistically than he did, and it makes sense. That was his
mhm,
baby,
mhm.
and so it makes a lot of sense.
Man, you know what? I don't know where you fall into the Saturday morning cartoon thing as a kid, but this thing looks like some whacked out version of Skull Mountain from He-Man. Snake Mountain. Snake Mountain.
Uh, I was on the same page enough to know exactly what you're about to reference before you said it.
All
So
right,
good, proud of
there we
myself.
go. I know we're the same age, so
Skeletor.
Skeletor's the best. He was such a piece of shit, but he was the best. This original art,
Saturday morning cartoons for me, man. Spider-Man and X-Men.
yeah,
Fox.
yeah. And I'm a little bit older than you, so like I went into that, but I started with He-Man and then Turtles and then
Sure.
X-Men and Spider-Man. Um, this is
Yeah.
pretty cool. There's a note down here, and it's going to be really hard to see on the camera, but it says, and he's talking to his letterer Tom Warzakowski, and it says, "Tom, can you add these Roman numerals kind of craggly?" And here they are: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. It's pretty cool.
Nice
I love,
job, Todd. I mean
yeah,
Tom, or whatever his
yeah,
name was.
Tom Warzakowski. There we go. See, Vic is doing his best Skeletor. I can actually hear it in my head. Until we meet again. um, see, this is what you get. What you don't get with most comic channels is just the random voices that I will do for you. I mean, or characters. So just test me. Um, and
That's
great
true.
guests and great.
What you don't get from other channels is Dave.
That's right. That's right. This is what I try to impress upon people. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, so we're deep into issue 8 where Billy Kincaid's in hell and he's being haunted by Spawn, which put him there. And Billy Kincaid was the child murderer that see,
Oh,
that's the
okay.
other thing. That's the other thing. Todd was tackling, he was able to, content wise, like story content, he was able to do what he wanted also, whereas Marvel would put these limitations on him. But the fact that all these pages are just in this book is so sick. And there's Maljabolgia, or however you say it, on the last page of issue 8. Johnny's in the house. Johnny's in the house. Johnny's in the house.
Is that New Yorker, Johnny? Johnny, what up?
Johnny is a New York. He's actually a Massachusetts dude, but he's a New York Ranger fan, which
Mm.
I don't like the Rangers. I was born into an Islanders household and hockey, but we accept Johnny here anyway. And Vic said, "Who's Dave?" I'm here for Comic Team. You know what I was thinking about? That if Comic Tim was ever in a romantic comedy with somebody, we could call him Rom-Com Tim. No,
Oh,
it's not
because
that funny.
comic.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. It
I
wasn't
think
funny.
it did. Yeah, it took a little while, and those aren't supposed to take a little while, right? So NYR is New York Rangers, not New Yorker. Just wanted to make sure no one was offended. I just thought it meant New Yorker. I get it now. He says it's weird. I know.
But he's a masshole. He's a masshole. I say that with
Oh, I
love.
like that. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
that. That's dope. Are the
yeah.
Rangers in the Super Bowl today?
Different sports, my friend. Different sports.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
okay.
You know,
Yeah.
that just makes me like you even more because you truly don't like sports, and I'm here for that. Like, I don't like sports anymore. I'm a former sports guy. But somebody said you're once a sports guy, then you're always a sports guy. So
It's
yeah.
okay. I mean, then I guess then you're a sports guy.
What's a superb owl? Well, superb owl is a really like a beautiful bird nocturnally that hunts at night, and it's just amazing. All right, so here we go on to
Is
the
that
original.
not how you spell bowl?
That is, but it's a joke. It's
Okay,
superb owl.
gotcha.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh
Uh,
yes, oh yes.
all right, here we go to the original artwork of oh, look what happened to the cover. Oh, wow, that's wild.
Wait,
This is the original
what
artwork.
is that?
This is a water stain. Like he must have spilled some water. Somebody spilled something on the cover, which is kind of
Yeah.
funny when you think about like the stain that this book has left in his life with the lawsuit with Gaiman and all that.
This was intentional.
Maybe, maybe.
This is
But
his artistic expression of how he feels about the situation.
and for those of you that don't, for some reason, if you don't know about it, long story short, Neil Gaiman wrote this issue. Somewhere in the years past, after, he stopped getting checks and he stopped getting residuals for this character that he created, Angela, which became a huge character for the Spawniverse, as well as Medieval Spawn and Cagliostro. And so Neil ends up suing Todd, and I forget how it works out, how it shakes out, but he gets the rights to Angela, trades the rights to Marvel for the rights to finish Miracle Man, the Alan Moore book, and so Angela is now in the Marvel universe. So that's the long story short. If you want to watch a lot about it,
That's
watch
what happened.
You cartoonist kayfabe, and they did a whole couple episodes about they read the transcripts of the depositions. But all right, so we get the first.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. It's actually a great couple episodes. So yeah, you get the first appearance of Medieval Spawn. Did you have the toys when you were a kid at all? Were you a toy kid?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. I still have I actually probably have all of my childhood Spawn toys still, and I have sealed ones as well. But Spawn toys were so damn cool that as much as I kept my Spider-Man stuff sealed, the Spawn toys are on the next level. I had to open most of them, dude. They're so amazing.
Actually, it's funny, right behind my laptop, on the wall, I have the first Spawn figure, and I've got the Todd Collectors Club figure, the figure of Todd McFarlane. And yeah, have you never seen it before?
No, I've never seen a figure of Todd McFarlane. No.
Okay, so he was in the movie, and they did a funny little toy of him.
Oh, I never saw that. Okay,
Yeah.
dope.
Yeah. So there's two different ones, but that's the regular one. So yes, the toys of Medieval Spawn.
I'm going to show you my desk companion. I'll be right back.
Okay. The toy of Medieval Spawn. Here. Yeah, I know. Toy of Medieval Spawn's like one of the coolest toys ever. But if you've never read this issue, it's great. It's a standalone issue in a way. Neil Gaiman, my favorite writer, writes his ass off in this. But the art is just unbelievable. This is I think it's Todd's best issue.
Give me big, please. Give me big momentarily.
Here you go. You're gonna make him big. There he is.
Look at this. It looks like it's like a little figure. It's a little statue thing. It came
awesome.
with Violator. There's a Violator companion to this, but it's not nearly as cool as this. This has been with me since whatever year it came out, and freaking love this thing, bro.
It's so dope. And that mimics the first Spawn figure. That's the way I'm looking at it right now, and it mimics the way that the cape is in the first figure.
Yeah. Yeah, so, love it. Well, there you go. Thank you for that.
Johnny, this is issue 9. This is the first appearance of Angela. This is Spawn 9, the very famous issue. There's just so much detail in this, but like the silhouette of Medieval Spawn and then lit by his powers. It's just, look at that. Look at this splash page of Angela. Just awesome. Juicy. What's up, Eddie? Eddie Rodriguez in the house.
Eddie, what up? Good evening.
Good evening. Welcome to Spawn.
Good evening.
You do. It'll be available on Wednesday. Steve. All right. So here he's talking to Steve Oliff, who I guess Oliff is the colorist. Steve Oliff, what does that say? I see looking through the glass. Oh. Looking through it, and then Steve white trim around her. Yeah, so I love seeing the little notes on there, but Todd, I think is it's just a testament. Like, you look at some of these pages and the way that he was telling the story that Gaiman was writing visually, it's just I would have faith in him as a director if this is how his directing style was.
Man, look at that Angela grin face on the lower right. Like, that is special.
Yeah. I such a, and you got echoes of Mary Jane right here. It kind of looks like Mary Jane, but his women, his women do tend to look alike. They do. Or at least
correct.
his white women.
Yep, late 80s, early 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Eddie, you could go back and watch the first 15 minutes. We're a half hour in. Don't worry, we just started this book. So, what up, Mr. Conflay?
Mr. Conflays, hello. Which means cereal. It means cereal. He loves cereal. And I forgot the pronunciation. I think it was cornflakes.
Cornflakes.
No, cornflakes. Yeah.
That makes more sense.
Yeah.
This one's interesting. Like, this is a little unfinished right here, so I wonder if they did something post, like a paste up. And then interesting that this is in here because this is from, that's a flashback, right? That's a flashback from another issue, or a flash forward. Flash forward. You'll see. You'll see in the next issue. Indeed it does. Indeed it does.
You'll see.
Well, you came to the right place. If you love Spawn, hit that like button. Enough about me. I'm kind of interested in Spawn. Just not sure about it. Well, we're looking, and for anybody just joining, I'm looking at the Spawn Vault Edition 2, which is the original artwork for Spawn 8 through, what did I say? 8 through like 13. So we're looking at some Todd. Hey, look, it's Mary Jane, but it's Angela again.
And Mr. Cornflays is being sarcastic because he's humongous Spawn fan. Humongous Spawn fan.
Humongous. Does he see Todd and buy Todd?
I think he does. Yeah, he sees Todd, buys Todd. I think he sells Todd sometimes, and then if it's not Todd, it's raccoons. That's what we know about him. He loves raccoons.
Like Rocket Raccoon or actual raccoons?
No, the real ones, man. The real
ones. All right, real ones are cool. He's never owned Spawn
in
his life. Amber's back. Me and my brother would watch the HBO series. Oh God, the HBO series is so good. I've been meaning. I actually I watched it again a couple years ago, but I just bought the little set of it on Blu-ray or DVD, and gonna rewatch it. Amber is back, and Todd We Trust. There's another one. And Todd We Trust. See Todd, buy Todd. See Todd, read Todd. Here's Cogliostro. Here's more Spawn. We're looking at the original artwork. I really love looking at this. I want everybody to, if they can buy this book, get this book. And the first one. I need to get the first one. So don't buy them all. We got a 2-page splash here, which Angela just looks so badass. I mean, she
does, man.
She's such a great design. It's like instead of a cape, you like Spawn all over the place, you just get this ribbon that goes everywhere.
Right? Yeah.
And then he gets sucked into the suit. This is such a weird issue, but he gets sucked into this darkness and then pulls her down. This fucking page is amazing. Amazing. Look at this thing.
It is.
At least Todd knows how to draw a butt. Some comic artists, you look at it, you're like, who are you? What's going on here? That actually looks real.
What page is that? What page is that? I think it's 316. The center page of 316, ASM 316.
Yeah.
With Black Cat's butt just there.
He drew a good rear end. He drew a good rear end.
Yeah.
It was like, you look at some of these comic book artists and they were trying to like make these like really attractive women, and you're just looking at it, you're like, do you know what a woman looks like? I mean, I wasn't thinking that when I was a kid because I was like 12, but now I'm looking at some of these books that I had in the 90s. I'm just like, what are you doing?
But like booty wasn't a thing. Like artists weren't drawing booties like that. Booty's like more of a recent thing, Comic book artists were more
they were chest heavy.
boob guys.
Yeah, they were chest heavy. They were very chest heavy. I mean, you look at like some of the, it's kind of, I mean, like we could get into a whole discussion about that, but it is interesting to see what worked and what didn't when you're an adult and you're reading this stuff. So
Gen 13 was Image, right?
Yes, Gen 13 was Image.
Okay.
That was J. Scott. That was like second wave Image, I believe.
Yeah.
So
Trip, you ain't lying, Trip. You ain't lying.
Booty is timeless. Now, that's my favorite comic book ever. Who made that? That would be a great comic book. Booty is timeless.
It would sell.
Is Spawn's cape an entity of its own, like the symbiote? Yes, the cape, the suit encompassing is its own entity, and I think that includes the cape. So the chains, the cape, the suit, all of it is alive, and that comes into play multiple times. I reread the first 50 issues last year, and it's not an unenjoyable read. There's just a lot of nothing happens, but they do get into the cape and the suit being alive. Is there a way to read books without damaging them? Carefully.
Is he asking about comic books or like these hardcover books?
Well, I think these are a lot less. These are a lot more durable. The spine is meant to be cracked open. Regular comics, you're best off without damaging them, putting them down on a table on a clean surface. I don't do that with my comics, but I also don't read my really expensive comics like an idiot. I'll be sitting in bed literally like this with a comic and just, flipping it. But anything you really want to make sure you don't mess up, flat surface on a table, make sure it's clean. That's how I look at it. Hourglass figure, but it work be horrifying thing to anatomy. It's true. When you look at some of the anatomy on this, it's pretty bad. It'd be horrifying. Buy the books and find a digital. You could do that too. You could buy trades. You could buy hardcovers. Any of those.
Whoa, what is it? Sorry. RS Cali, Andrew, what up? What is he saying? Some of the re-releases of issue 10 by Dave Sim?
Dave Sim, I did some reissues and new covers on his website that were exclusives last year, I believe. I was going to buy some, but I ended up not. But if they're still available, you could find them on Dave Sim's website. Just Google Dave Sim. www. Yeah. Spawn 10 first ever black and white cover of Spawn. Yes, not of a comic, but yes, of Spawn. It's the only. Yeah, it came out. I mean, it was the only black and white cover until he re-released Spawn 1 in black and white.
That was years later. That thing came out in like 97 or I don't even know. It was years later.
Yeah. English is Vic is having trouble speaking. It's okay. I understand the first time that I spoke to. All right. Anyway, just kidding. So here's the cover for
I don't even see that comment. Weird.
Number 10. Cover for Spawn 10 starring Dave Sims, Cerebus, and Spawn. And except there was partial color on it. It wasn't all black and white. This one's a great issue too.
That's true.
So the 4 issues. It's Alan Moore wrote number 8, Neil Gaiman wrote number 9, Dave Sim wrote and partially illustrated number 10, and then Frank Miller wrote number 11, and he paid them, I think, like $100,000 each, something like that. Which in 1990
really good.
Yeah, 1992 standards. I mean, you're talking probably $250,000 now.
He paid them $100,000 each to do what?
To write the issues. So that's
Wait,
how
just one issue, or that was their
just one issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the whole thing. That was the big deal about it, was that he'd gotten the four arguably, 4 of the most accredited and legendary comic book writers at that time to write these issues. Yeah, it's crazy stuff.
Wow.
And
Good
as
on
Vic
Todd.
said, that's 3 times a modern writer's yearly earnings. Exactly. Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
the issues he got out of them were amazing. Look at the layouts. The page layouts on these first 3 splash pages are amazing. Oh, you can see the white out. It's funny, in my light, the way it's reflecting, it almost looks like like this page is stained, but it's just the white out from the original art.
Right.
Seeing Spawn in black and white is making me want a tattoo. Hey, I don't make me want a tattoo also. I have enough, but I want more.
Do you have a Spawn tattoo?
I don't. I don't have a Todd related tattoo. I only have 3 comic book tattoos. And they are one is this kapow, one is this thwack, and then I'm gonna do this, you guys, since you asked, and one is this. My Batman and Joker tattoo. It's hard to see.
Oh wow, bro.
Yeah.
Sick.
Anyway, I just put my leg on YouTube.
And now and whoever buys this book on Wednesday is going to get some of the curly hairs from it as well.
This book is not on sale. This book is for me and me only.
All right, all right.
You gotta love Cerebus. Yeah, Cerebus by Dave.
Thanks for wearing socks, Dave.
Oh, of course, always. I shower with them on. So Dave Sim, if you're not aware, created Cerebus. Cerebus is the longest running comic book by a single creator. 300 issues and then done. Yep, rare sighting of my leg. This is true. West Coast Dave after hours shows. Yeah, I'll take my socks off after the show. After hours. So this is a very interesting issue, but I artistically, this is it. Here it is. So this page shows up in issue 10, and it's all of these different superheroes, and you could probably, if you're good enough, if your comic IQ is good enough, you probably could figure out who everybody is in this page. There's 1 or 2 that
is that
really,
Venom right there?
There's Venom right there. Yeah, Venom, Colossus, Juggernaut, the Hulk, Batman, Wonder Woman, I think, or no, there's Wonder Woman, Wolverine. If this was in color, I'd probably be able to do it better. Joker's up here, the Thing, Spidey, Doc Ock. Yeah, so it's a little, it's a little Easter egg hunt. I'm just trying to work on my book. I don't want to see your legs. Yeah, that's what you say now. What do you think about the new Ohio law? Oh, I not care about. You don't want to hear my thoughts about laws in the government.
Can I just read this real quick? Hold on. I want to.
Sure.
What do you think about the new Ohio law about
Etsy?
About
eBay
from Neo YouTube video? You think? Oh wait, I know this. I didn't see it from Neo's video, but other eBayers were talking about it. It was saying that, and it was only, what was it really quickly? Just briefly, what was it really quickly?
Oh, it's just that they're trying to say that if you put stuff on auction, you have to have an auction license if you hit over 10 grand. Whatever.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, dude, I hope that doesn't spread nationwide. And also, it just, I mean, anyway, yeah, you're right. That's a whole nother couple.
Yeah, it's a whole nother can of worms. Maybe we'll talk about it later, but it's definitely not the focus of what I want to talk about now, because this is Todd. And so just some more great, and by the way, yeah, RS Cali, once again, I mean, we can repeat it as many times as we want. This is one of the more iconic Spawn pages and classic.
And I've never even looked at it, so thank you for introducing me.
Yeah, of course. Here comes, so this one, and I wish I had thought about it. There's Superman, by the way. This is supposed to be
Derpa,
Superman.
what up?
Stay on target, Todd. That's so good.
I think we're like, I think that's really important, that previous page that has all the other characters' hands. Like, that's actually so cool. I don't know why I'm only just discovering it and why people don't, like, just kind of drool over it more. Like, that's Venom's hand in a Spawn book. That's
That's
kind of awesome.
Spider-Man's hand in the Spawn book. That's Batman's hand in the Spawn book.
Oh, Spidey isn't. What
Yeah, he's
the
right. They're
dude?
right
That's
there.
too cool.
Yeah. But this one, and you've seen this one, so that's supposed to be Superman, which I love it because they've just, it says red capes, red cows, more red capes. Good luck. This one, and I think you're Derpa, this is Spawn 10, number 10. The Dave Sim Cerebus issue. But this image was this painted image that was used in a poster. And I wish I had it. I wish I had thought about it because I know I have it somewhere around here, but I'd love to match it up. Because I don't think it's 1 for 1, but I'm pretty sure this became a posterized image.
Okay.
Yeah, the hands one. The hands one is this is all issue 10, Derpa. It goes issue by issue. The parody laws are amazing to let. Yeah, I mean, I think as long as you're not using anything trademarked, you really aren't breaking any copyright laws, and Batman, the only thing trademarked on Batman, for example, would be the bat symbol. The costume's not, because you could remove the bat symbol and it could be anything. Same with Spider-Man. Like, they could make a case for it, but I don't think that they could do anything in a lawsuit because there's nothing that says that it's that character.
Right.
So, explosion. Oh, look at that. Lady Justice, but it's the Violator. I love it. Found my number 9 yesterday. It's surprisingly minty fresh. I think I have that one as well. Yeah, I mean, these issues, not hard to find. There were millions and millions of Spawn 1 through probably 25 printed, maybe even more. That's why they never, like number 9 makes sense for being valuable, and number 1 does, but I think they get you saw people charging, like, even recently, up until maybe the signing, you saw people charging like $50-$60 for Spawn 1 and Spawn 9 each. It's crazy.
What condition though? Right? In decent and high grade. It has to be high grade. 50,
of course.
$60 for Spawn 1.
But then you have to trust the person you're buying it from.
And you got to trust CGC to not 9.6 or 9.8.
Like mine. Exactly. Oh, God. Well, here's another Superman saying Doomsday, which is even funnier. So they just keep pushing the boundaries of what they can do with this issue and the characters. And there he is. There's Cerebus. Love it.
Cerebus.
This one's great. This is the only time, to my knowledge, that Spawn uses a photo background for anything. So I love that. Yeah, that's a photo background right there. It's worth $1.
What does Spawn's shocked face say above his face? That's like really just
this. It says Spawn.
Huh.
Yeah, because Cerebus is talking to him. So, like, this is a fun issue to read. I don't think you get the real full force of what this issue is trying to do if you're not reading it in color, because there's the balance between color and black and white in this, but it's still a fun issue where Cerebus is taking him around through his life, and it's very meta, and it's one of the reasons why this issue is so interesting. But a lot of just really lovely to see this original artwork. Look at that. I love the way that this looks together.
I dig it. The last time we chatted, you were supposed to befriend Todd, and I'm not kind of understanding why you haven't done that yet.
I'm busy. I don't know how. I tried to befriend other people, and it didn't work. So I'm
and
waiting.
Comic Tom have become family. Todd's next.
I don't know who Comic Tom is. I know who Comic Tim is, though.
My apologies. I get it mixed up sometimes.
It's okay. It's very understandable because they're both very interesting people that are always pushing things to their own agendas. Eddie Rodriguez says Spawn versus Ghost Rider, who takes the cake? Damn, Chains versus Chains, Green Power versus Flame. I don't know, man. That's a tough one. That'd be fun. That would be
I'm
fun
going
to
Spawn
see.
though.
I think so. They both have the power of hell, but I think there's been multiple Ghost Riders because they can no longer exist. Spawn is forever. Just like diamonds.
Yeah, exactly. Just like diamonds. No agenda there.
No, not at all. Just show up at his office with some coffee. Instant friendship. I don't think Todd drinks coffee. I feel like he's like one of those dudes that drinks like water and nothing else.
I would be heartbroken to find out that he's somebody that drinks like large energy drink cans multiple times a day. I hope he doesn't. Hope he's not that guy.
I don't think that's him. I think he's like maybe Gatorade or something like that.
Maybe he might be.
Spawn because of his hand-to-hand combat. Spawn also uses guns. A lot of guns.
Todd's got a favorite Gatorade color.
He definitely does. Hey bud, get me some of that orange Gatorade, bud. So this is the issue number 11, which is the Frank Miller written episode, the Frank Miller written issue, and I think this is actually it's the weakest of the 4 issues that were written by those, like separately by those 4 guys, but still a fun issue. You get a lot of hamburger head Spawn. Good old hamburger head. Word of advice to befriend a fellow Albertan. Talk about the Flames versus the Oilers. Mattis, in the 2 first times that I met Todd, we had extensive hockey conversations. So I know that would be a very easy conversation to have with him. Spawn Universe. Oh yeah.
Is it Liefeld? Is it Liefeld? Is it Liefeld? Is it Liefeld? Because to me it's Liefeld. But what is it to you?
It's Rob Liefeld. Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
There we go.
Or and then for Comic Tim, he calls him Robert Liefeld, like L''Feld. I think he thinks he's a French Cajun guy, Spawn Universe Liefeld, exactly. The Spawn Universe hell is also a more powerful force, but yeah. So I think Spawn's got the upper edge. Liefeld is more of an 18 espresso a day kind of guy. I think you're right, Derpa.
Dig it.
Dave sounded like Alex Toth doing a before.
I don't even know who Alex Toth is, but I didn't hear McFarlane when Dave was doing his McFarlane. I'll be honest with you, but I don't know who this Alex Toth character is.
It's okay. It's okay. I can't do Rob Liefeld does an amazing Todd McFarlane imitation.
They spent a lot of time together, those two.
They have. That's right. To me, it's the guy who draws feet the best. Fair enough. It's actually Liefeld. All right, back to the artwork. And there's this character was kind of a throwaway. This, like I said, this issue was whatever, but Spawn does have a giant hole through his chest in this issue because he got shot, which is like one of the best things about Spawn is that he always got like the craziest battle damage, and McFarlane always like would draw things like, like when the Spawn Batman book where Batman throws the Batarang into his face and it stays in there. Spawn, I think one of the reasons we all loved Spawn as a kid is because he could take a beating. He could literally lose half of his face and he would get back up.
That the Batman throwing thing was really called a Batarang. I didn't know that. That's obviously the perfect name and it makes perfect sense. I just didn't know it was called a Batarang.
Well, now you know.
Now you know.
20 people in the room. You know what? Let's do this. Let's give away King Spawn number 1.
Woohoo!
Right now. This is the Brett Booth McFarlane cover. We're gonna hashtag King Spawn in the comments, and one of you guys will win it, and I'll send it to you
first.
There we go. We got a first comment. So hashtag King Spawn. This is number 1, the Brett Booth, Todd McFarlane cover. And Vic, I did get the modern Spawn Batman, and my opinion is short. In short, the artwork was really good, and that's about all. The story was unintelligible at best. All right, so hashtag King Spawn. Who's my favorite live action Batman? It changes day to day. Right now, honestly, it's Robert Pattinson, but Michael Keaton probably takes well, Keaton was great on both. He was a great Batman and he was a great Bruce Wayne.
Oh, nicely put. Nicely put.
Yeah. But I also love Christian Bale. I know you don't like him, but
that guy.
Oh, well, thanks, Derpa. Hashtag King Spawn. King Spawn. Wow, it sounds like I have a cold, but I don't. I just get a stuffy nose when I talk too much. Affleck was Affleck was a decent bit of both, but those movies didn't give him a chance to really be that good.
I completely forgot about him. I don't even really remember.
Well, when you think about it, in our lifetimes, if you're my age, in my lifetime, I've had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Batmans, and then Kevin Conroy. So there's been a lot. Keaton is the Motion Picture Batman Foundation, 100%. 100%. I'm more of a Clooney guy. You are lying. That is a lie. All right.
You said typing that makes him want to throw up, but I'm like, man, Clooney's dope. I don't know.
Clooney's a good actor. Clooney is not a good Batman.
Like, yeah, Leonardo DiCaprio was my favorite Batman. He did his thing.
What'd you say?
Nothing. I'm just joking.
All right, let's give this away. We've got 8 entries. Can we get 2 more entries? Hashtag King Spawn. Keaton should be Bruce and Batman Beyond. I agree with that, if it happens. Let's share the screen. Let's give it away, give it away, give it away now. Hashtag King Spawn. We've got 8 people.
Spelled it wrong.
No, I didn't. King Spawn.
I know, I'm just messing with you.
Why do you do that to me?
It's so fun.
All right, here we go. We're going to give it away. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Giveaway. All right, who's going to take it? Who's going to take it? And then don't forget, you got to get in touch with me if I don't. John Salisbury's going to take it. Thank you,
Congrats, John. Congrats.
John, if you could just, well, I'm trying to think. Well, okay, hold on. Give me 1 sec. I got to write down who won this so I don't forget. John Salisbury. If you've never filled out one of my buyer forms on Wednesday, you could do so on Wednesday, and then I don't want to draw this again. Stop it. And then I'll just send you the book when you put your address in. How about that? All right, sounds good. Sorry. All right, back to the task at hand. Let's look at some more Spawn artwork.
Jerome Hernandez, hello. I didn't see your name earlier. Hi.
Oh, Jerome, what's going on? Jerome was the winner of my 1500th subscriber giveaway. He won that McFarlane 9/8 slab.
Congrats. Very cool. Wait, was it a Spider-Man 1? It was, right?
Yes.
Yeah, nice.
People knock Adam West was very close to showing Batman if you only got rid of the silliness. I mean, Adam West was great. He was fantastic. It was the old Batman show is time and place. I have no complaints about the old Batman show. It's silly, but that's time and place. That's the 60s and the 70s.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So I love this shot. His layouts were like off and on, like weird and then normal. But I love this side. The whole page is this, and then these are just on top of it. But it's such a badass thing to see all this artwork. By the way, if anybody, John, if you want to email me too, you can email me at westcoastavengers@gmail.com. Just give me your address, and I'll get that book out to you. Gonna do 2
You
more
can email
giveaways.
me too, but that's just if you want to say hi and stuff.
That's true. At the 9.9 newsstand at geocities.yahoo.net.
He always gets it right.
I know. But yeah, this issue, I don't know. This issue is kind of lackluster. The artwork's really good, but I just don't remember enjoying this issue. What the heck? Oh, okay. So here's the rough cover sketch for Spawn 11 or Spawn 12, and it's just a logo in a black background.
Nice. Who's your favorite Spawn villain aside from Violator? Eddie asks.
You know what? I'm gonna go. Oof. Okay, mind you, I have not read really much past the 100th issue.
Mm-hmm.
Angela, she becomes kind of like a anti-hero ally. Tremor, probably Tremor or Overkill. Overkill was kind of crappy, but kind of awesome and crappy.
Okay, I'm gonna take his answers because he knows more than I do.
Prodigy Mail for life, baby.
What's that mean? What's Prodigy Mail?
You don't remember Prodigy? It came up around the
No.
time that AOL came out, and it was its own server, mail server.
Dang, don't remember that at all. AOL, of course I remember. Do not remember Prodigy Mail. Nice throwback.
I'm not ashamed to admit that I still use my AOL email address, and I never will stop.
Do you really? There's
Of
servers
course
still
I do.
supporting it?
Of
Wow.
course I do. Yeah. Chapel would have been cool if it gets a. Chapel's a great villain, and Chapel kind of goes between the Liefeld and the McFarlane universe, as he was a young blood character. So here is, oh my God, look at this thing.
Yeah.
Look at this double page splash. Spawn
Hey,
11.
the R is backwards for Byron.
I know. Maybe that's a little precursor to him. Oh no, look.
The
Yeah,
E's
I think
backward.
this character's backwards.
Yeah, very cool.
Malabolgia. I can never say it right. It's my favorite Spawn villain from when I was reading it. That makes sense. I mean, giant devil-looking thing that looks like a 100-year-old naked elderly woman. That's a demon. It's great design for a character too. And I'm being serious. What's funny about the R being backwards, to any of my friends in here that are fans of the band Korn, we all know that Todd goes on to direct Freak on a Leash, the animated video for Korn, after doing the artwork for the album Follow the Leader, and I believe he wins a Grammy for that. Yeah.
Fancy.
You know, Todd has won a Grammy. I think he's won a Grammy, an Emmy, and an MTV Music Video Award, but that's not a real award. All right.
I don't think any of those awards are real awards, but again, a story for another time.
Sure, fair enough. All right, so here we go on to issue 12. This is the cover for issue 12, which we saw the sketch, the rough sketch for it here. Look at this. See, here's the thing, and I don't know how many of you in here will agree with me or disagree with me. God damn, there was so much text in some of these Spawn books that it got hard to read. And I'm one of those people, and Manua, let me ask you. Mm-hmm. Are you one of those people that when you read a book or you pick up something, whether it's a book, a magazine, a comic, whatever, do you have to read everything? Like, when I open something up to consume it, you know, with words and pictures, I have to look at everything. I have to read everything.
Yeah. Even if it's a blurb off to the side, I'm going to feel like I can't turn the page. I'm going to feel like I missed something. It's probably meaningless, but I have to know it's meaningless to move on. Like, I have to read it or I can't move on.
Okay. Well, I'm glad to know me and you are the same type of completionist.
I'll also say that although I've always been decent with words, my reading comprehension didn't actually, mature into something noteworthy or respectable until much later in life. And I actually kind of remember when I became like an adult and I started to read more stuff, I was like, I'm retaining this. Like, I don't have to read this paragraph 3 times. But when I was younger, my mind would always be everywhere. I could not focus on words on a page. What kind of boring bullshit is that? I can't do that. But then as you get older, it's like, oh shoot. And now it was like a light switch one day. Reading worked for me one day. I was like, wow, that's cool.
Me too. I can tell you it was my early 20s. But the first book that made me realize that, like, oh wow, I'm like really engrossed in this. And it was after, it wasn't a comic. Um, it was what was that stupid Dan Brown book? The Da Vinci Code. I read that. It was the first time like I had read a novel, and comics were different because I had the pictures to distract me and break up the text. But
Yeah.
with that unlocked a whole new thing in me. And then when I went back and started reading comics, like things changed, like everything changed for me. And it was in my very early 20s.
Wow. Yeah. Very cool. I like that.
Andrew said, all right, Andrew, I was going to mention this before, and I'm glad you did. Overkill gets extra points because you can watch his first appearance drawn live in that video with Tord, Rob, Liefeld, and Stanley. And he's talking about the comic great. So what's it called? Yeah, it's the video series that was hosted by Stanley that they did. They did all those Rob Liefeld and Jimothy Lee, Robert Liefeld, Tord McFearless. And that's where the phrase was coined, kids love chains. And he did a right. So after you're right. Oh my God. Read your comics. You're talking to somebody that's seen Pearl Jam live 40 times, and I can't believe I forgot to mention that.
Shame.
Yes, Todd directed the video for Do the Evolution on Pearl Jam's album Yield, which is 30 years old this week, I believe, or last week. And he won the Emmy for that, the Grammy for Korn. It's one or the other. But yes, 2 videos and 2 of my favorite bands. Wonder if we'll ever really get a new Spawn movie. It's in development hell. But I think, and I don't know if anybody else can back this up, but I heard one of the reasons that the Spawn movie hasn't really happened yet, and for the same reason that 4 new books have come out in the Spawn universe, is because no studio wants to buy or sign a contract to do a movie if there's not going to be more, and they want a full universe. So he created this Spawn universe so that he could sell the entire universe, movie and TV. Yeah. So
I think it's inevitable that we'll get a Spawn movie. It would be stupid if we don't.
I agree. All right. Well, back to the movie show.
Oh, Eddie says I'm that guy too, talking about he reads everything on a page.
Yes. Yeah. I caught. Oh, look at this.
That's incredible.
Turn your head, and then you can see it like it's meant to be seen. Look at that 2-page spot. I don't remember this. Look at this bat. What kind of face does a bat? Bat looks like a goddamn demon. Yeah, so we're getting into some of the origins of Terry and Al and Wanda and all that stuff, and that's where you meet Jason Wynn. Jason Wynn's like the guy behind the assassination of Al Simmons, and that's Al's blind mom or mother-in-law. Bloodshot flipped. Yeah, well, Bloodshot was one of the worst movies I've ever seen. That movie was really funny bad. Yeah, this was just a lot of reading for this book when you're a kid. That's a lot of text to read. And there's one. See, so what I said before, and I was kind of leading up to that, is Todd drew white women all the same, but at least he didn't draw Wanda like a white woman. So like he's got the artistic chops to not draw people of different races as the same as white people. So more credit for that. Also, I didn't think about this as a kid, just because it just wasn't, 12, 13-year-olds don't think this way, but it's very interesting to look back and realize that, like, not only did he create this huge character, this big thing, and never really like stood on a pedestal and like, hey, look, I just created a black superhero. Like, and it was very interesting to see, like, think about that where we are now, where like, it's It's in between, like
Isn't that's so fascinating? Like, even if you take it back to the 90s, like, we just loved Spawn. No one was like all like, we have to support this because it's a black superhero. It wasn't like a political thing. It was just the dopest character,
yeah,
and Al was a black guy. Like, no
yeah.
one thought about it like, and that feels really great to me. Like, that's awesome, And
I
I
think
never even thought about that. Yeah, like how early on it was the biggest character ever, and no one made a fuss about it. It was natural and normal, and it's just dope. Like,
yeah, yeah. There was no fanfare about it. I mean, exactly. It was natural. It was natural.
yeah, yeah,
I feel like the amount of passion that Todd wanted to put into the book with the story felt like it. Exactly. Like Todd, and if I'm gonna find my like one fault that I've always kind of had in the back of my mind about Todd is that like his he's too verbose. He's there's too much text and he's explaining way too much stuff that you can clearly see in the illustrations. But
mm,
look, it not everybody can be, first of all, being a writer artist, and I don't know from any experience, but from what I can see and my on the page, and I've heard in discussion and interviews, being a writer artist is like the hardest thing
it's gotta
because
be.
you have to have you have to be at the top of your game for both of those, and how many people out there can draw and also write a very compelling story that works. Alan Moore, Neil Gaiman, those two great writers. They're not artists. Frank Miller, for a time and for his first 20 something years of his career, one of the greatest writer artists of all time, if not the greatest writer artist in comics. I mean, he wrote Sin City and drew and you look at Sin City and it's this amazing thing. And his work on Daredevil that he was illustrating with Klaus Janson and uh, Dark Knight. So there are some people that can do it, but it is a very hard thing. I mean, it's like how many guitarists are amazing songwriters and singers at the same time? You know, how many rappers are great rappers and great producers? Some, but not a
There
lot.
are there. I'm surprised by how many there are, but like I was, one thing, but could not. I'm not a producer. I'm not going to sit in front of an MPC or a keyboard or a Fruity Loops. Like it never computed in my head in a way that I can actually make that happen.
Sure.
Sonically, I can guide and assist, but someone else has to make the actual magic happen in that regard.
Yeah. There's and another one that I could think of, another good example. How many actors make great directors? How many great directors can act? And there's, like Clint Eastwood's one of the ones that comes to mind. Like he's a great actor and he's directed some amazing movies, but
Yeah.
it's just so with Todd, I think he was stretching his abilities to the max, and I think we're better for it. He gave us some great stuff, but you know, you look at the issue that we look at some of the issues that we looked at, and the art's amazing, but Neil Gaiman and Alan Moore and Frank Miller and Dave Sim were writing those. um, Eddie said we really need a big Spawn on the big screen again. Deadpool minus the humor makes sense. The vibe of the animated series is perfect. Like it's better than
Yeah.
the comic.
Yeah. It's too good. It's too good.
Yeah.
Um, Actually, the other night, so um, I left dinner and I didn't have dessert at dinner. And
Uh-huh.
so on my way home, I was like, I'm going to stop at the grocery store because I want some ice cream. And by the way, I found what is it, Haagen-Dazs flavor I never had before. It's vanilla bean truffle something.
Oh wow.
Oh, it's delicious. Anyway, I think I might go to the grocery store after this and get some more. But I could have gone to two grocery stores, and I picked one, and I went to it, and I ran into a friend from way back. Someone. It was my best friend way back, 20 years ago. So on and so forth. And we did that thing while we were walking down the aisles where we saw each other,
Uh-huh.
and you do the eye connect, but you do
Yeah,
but
yeah.
then you make a really quick calculation, and in life there are many people that you do the eye connect and you both pretend you don't know each other. That's fine, but there are few people in life that you do that, you do the forget it, and then you do, wait a second, no, this relationship isn't one you pretend you didn't see the guy. So we both
Right.
looked back and we both embraced in a big hug, and we caught up on 20 years really quickly. But one of the things in that conversation, I told him I've been thinking about him recently, and one of the memories that we brought up was how the Spawn cartoon because he was from a household that had HBO,
Oh yeah.
and I was not from a household that had HBO. And in the middle of the night, we used to sneak into the living room, turn on HBO, and watch the Spawn cartoon. That was my Spawn cartoon consumption. And his older brother is largely, not largely, but in a large part responsible. I guess it is largely um, for my relationship with comic books, because we also used to sneak into his brother's comic book box and flip through and just be blown away by cool art.
I love that. I love that. I didn't have to sneak with the Spawn, but I had to sneak with R-rated movies. But I love that. That's such a great story.
I'm glad I was able to share it. Good times.
Mr. No Love Lamar is like saying people shit on Ronan, but yeah, Miller was great on that. That was definitely his like vision, and I think it, I think more people like it than the amount of people that don't. Jabez said, I saw my first Spawn animated episode last year. So good. Yeah, 2 seasons or 2.5 seasons. The introductions, the Twilight Zone-ish Rod Serling type introductions by Todd are amazing. They're like, they're perfect. They're perfect. And we're still waiting for the first for another Howard the Duck movie. The first one was great.
I'd be in for that.
I'd be in for it too. Howard the Duck got a very good treatment in the comics by Chip Zdarsky. The series came out like 10 years ago now, or 8 to 10 years ago. If you've never read it, I suggest it's a lot of fun. So we're still on issue 12, and there's Chapel. Who was it that said they loved Chapel? Such a great splash page. Chapel was the person that killed Al Simmons. Look at the note on the bottom. And I know you guys can't see it, but it says words "no" and Chapel in white. No, Chapel. Once again, no, Chapel. 5 seasons in a movie. That's right. That would be the formula. Found my Spawn movies on VHS. I'm old. Jerome,
that's dope.
Yeah, so
that's dope.
Perfect voice for Spawn as well. Yes. Oh, what's his name? Hold on, don't tell me. It's dude from oh crap. Oh crap. I always remember his name, and now I'm on my show and I can't remember his name. The guy who did the voice of Spawn.
It's my fault.
It is your fault. He was in Men at Work. He was in the movie Men at Work. Damn it.
Keith David, Durpa is asking?
Keith David. There we go. Keith David. Sure, we'll be getting
nice work, Durpa.
That's right, Durpa coming up big time. All right, so here's the cover for Spawn 13. Once again, way too much text, but we've come to know that it's going to happen with Todd. So look at all this text.
That's a lot.
Oh wow, there's a second photo background. I guess I forgot about that. But there's Todd doing Bedrock. I think it was after they changed his name to Bedrock, but I can't remember.
It seems like, I mean, this needs to be accompanied by pizza or a burger, and not the vegetarian kind, which I'm not going to be able to participate in. But doesn't this feel like pizza and cheeseburger stuff?
Yeah, it does.
Man.
Well, I'll have pizza for you.
I mean, I'll have a cheese slice. Just enjoy some pepperoni for me, man. Enjoy some pepperoni for me. Yeah.
So we get Youngblood in this issue because Chapel's part of Youngblood, I believe. And look at that. That is very much. This looks like the old Spawn logo, but look at that. This is like the greatest Spawn pose right there. That's the figure pose. That is the action figure pose.
Yep. And also, if you remove the cape, and this is not going to come as a surprise because it's Todd McFarlane's creation. Sure. That one pose in Spider-Man 13 of Black Suit Spidey.
That's it.
That's the stance. That's the thing. That's it.
That is. All right. I want to point out 2 things, 2 comments. But first, we're going to go with the Keith David comment because we're still on Keith David, and apparently Amber wants to be on Keith David too. I don't blame you. His voice is God horny, like God tier horny. I get it. It's like, it's like hearing a, like Leonard Cohen or something.
Is that what you meant by Amber wants to be on Keith too?
I would assume so by the fact that she just said that Keith David's
Okay.
voice is kind of horny.
All right. I
Yeah.
think this is the terribly funny exchange happening.
Look, we don't have boundaries here on SunDAVE Sit Down.
I love it. I appreciate it very much.
And then we'll go to Derpa. So Derpa said not to jump off topic again, but I also think, and it's not off topic, we're in the image universe here. I also think we will never get a Prophet movie, and I'm perfectly fine with that. Funny thing is, I heard on one of Liefeld's recent podcasts, I'm pretty sure I heard him say that they are taking the concept of what they were doing with the Prophet movie, and I think they're just going to get rid of Prophet. Like they're doing something. What do we got here? Hold on, let's get you on the big screen.
I'm ruining a surprise from that's going to be on the Marvel show.
You've got mail. Oh Christ!
I've got a "You've Got Mail" poster. All right, I'll see myself out.
Folks,
Goodbye.
this is no longer SunDAVE Sit Down. This is now Meg Ryan Sit Down.
That's
Wait,
right.
That just got me all hot and bothered. Anyway, I heard that they were going to do away with the Prophet movie and then use the concept for something else. All right, so let's go back to Keith David's voice is the living embodiment of smooth jazz. I agree with that. Keith David, yeah. And now we've all got mail. And then Amber said that Gargoyles made her so sexually confused. I watched Gargoyles, but I didn't watch it long enough, I think, to really be affected by it by everybody like everybody else was. But it was a great cartoon. All right, you do not have mail for the giveaway.
That's funny. Oh, wow. Speaking of prodigy mail.
What's your favorite Meg Ryan movie?
It's probably You've Got Mail, to be honest with you, but there's no, I love that movie so much. And then what's the one? Harry Met Sally, right?
Harry Met Sally's a classic. Joe versus the Volcano, classic.
Oh yeah, I know that movie. I do know that film. Yeah.
All right, so perfect Spawn right there. Perfect.
And hold on one second. That slam, didn't that actually become the same font and the name of a magazine called Slam from the 90s?
Wasn't that like a basketball magazine, I think?
Right? Yeah. It looks like it.
Did Todd design Slam magazine?
That would be such a cool tidbit.
Let's see. I'm Googling it.
Confessions, Kate and Leopold. I got to remember that one.
So I'm going to let's just do this real quick.
Do it. It's your show.
I think we just uncovered something right here. Check this shit out. Gonna have to
it's true. Oh, I never saw Kate and Leopold. Derpa, I got to catch up. I never saw that.
Hold on, I got to add this to the stream, and then here we go. Look at this. Can you see this?
I see the giveaway tool.
No, hold on. Everybody, I just uncovered this. Hold on, let me figure this out. Stop screen.
He keeps saying but I'm the one that brought it up. I don't understand what's going on here. I don't get it. He keeps saying he just uncovered something. I literally
just uncovered it. There it is. Look at that.
I just sent him on this.
I know, you did. Look at that. I mean, like, it's pretty much like almost one for one.
So it doesn't, the L and the A don't connect, but the proportions are there. That S for the actual magazine Slam is so funky. I don't remember that S looking that way.
Yeah, I don't remember it looking that way either, but it's almost.
Yeah.
Almost.
Yeah.
It's not far off.
I think Todd should go find whoever did this and get his check.
Yes. All right, Todd. We got more money for you right now.
Because you need it, Todd. You need it. Yeah.
All right. Kate and Leopold. I don't remember seeing it, but James Mangold directed it, and James Mangold directed Logan. It was the one with Hugh Jackman and Liev Schreiber. Yes, I do remember that vaguely, but I don't think I ever saw it.
I also really like Julia Roberts films. Yes.
So I mean, and if anybody is new here and they don't know Manu that well, Manu is stuck.
I'm not very masculine. Sorry,
no,
that's not what you're about to say.
No, Manu is stuck in like the year 1997. So like nothing actually exists in movies and culture after 1997. And what I think is Manu is a time bandit. He is sent back. He has been sent forward from 1997. And so, everything that his pop culture knowledge just ends there.
Yeah, and I've been sent here to give you guys perspective so you stop consuming all of the nonsense being force-fed to you these days.
I'm running with this. This is my new theory, and I'm running with it.
I'm
Because
glad.
I have a question for you, Manu. What was the second? Who was the villain in the second Iron Man movie? Who played him?
How would I know that? I have no idea.
Exactly. All right.
Ultron.
See, I'm trying to ask what happened. I'm trying to ask like an easy question about something that happened after 1997, so that if I can prove that you are from 1997,
Yeah, no, yeah.
All right, Manu, you should also watch Addicted to Love with Meg Ryan.
I'd like to. It doesn't sound like I've seen that one. I'd like to.
Julia Roberts, Mattis said no shame in the Julia Roberts movies. Love watching them. Derpa, yes, it is Mickey Rourke, but I was trying to find something that Manu should know, but we know he doesn't.
Oh, that's
know.
the young man Mattis saying no shame in Julia Roberts movies. Very cool, my friend. Very cool. Notting Hill's a good one.
Sorry, what
the
is
one?
Mickey Rourke?
The one where she's a very nice prostitute in Beverly Hills. Also, quite a good film.
Pretty Woman, 1987 or 86, won the Oscar. Once again, proving that nothing happened after 1997 in your world.
Facts.
Why is Mickey Rourke? All right, so we're still flipping through this. This is Spawn issue 13. Some more talking heads. This is just fun to see. I want all of these pages. Todd, if you're watching this, come on the channel, send me some pages, and we'll talk about what your inspiration was behind all this stuff. Because that's the one thing I really don't know, right? Like, was he inspired by anything with Spawn? Was he inspired while he was drawing it? Was he inspired by writing it? Like, I don't know too much about his inspiration behind the character, the art, and the style, like any of it, which is kind of fascinating for me. Oh, there's Chapel with his face ripped off. We're going to take his face off.
Dang, they did that.
Are you understanding this reference?
Oh, is that the movie Face Off? Nicolas Cage and
John Travolta.
John Travolta.
Now,
Scientology at its finest.
I believe that movie came out in 1997. So
I did not like that movie. But I remember it very well. Anyway, I had dinner with Scientologists once. It was fascinating.
Fair enough. All right. If you, Amber said, if you want to know people's age, ask what their favorite Keith David movie is. 80s is going to be Men at Work. 90s is going to be There's Something About Mary. Oh, that's right. He was in There's Something About Mary. Huh.
I'm going to Google Keith David.
Men at Work would be my favorite, but outside of the Spawn stuff. Cartoonist Kayfabe has a Spider-Man annual one.
Keith David? I know this guy very well.
Jerome. Oh, Jerome, you were late to the stream, but we did cover that already. Isn't that funny? Nice. It's really funny that he mentioned that, because he had the same thought that I did when I was looking at this today, and I was like, oh yeah, this really is proto Spawn.
There's a wavelength, and you and Jerome are on it.
Yes, we are definitely on the same wavelength. But for those of you that didn't see it, here's pretty much proto Spawn in Spectacular Spider-Man Annual 10. Most specifically, really. Anyway, all right, so there's this is the first we're getting to the Clown and Violator in these issues, and I'm glad we get to see this, because the nasty two different sides of the same coin, or whatever, you know what I'm saying.
Wait, you just threw me for a loop. That one.
That's okay. All right. So you look at the kids, the way he draws this kid. This is like a 32-year-old adult in a kid. Like, that is somebody that drives a truck and has been smoking cigarettes. That is a
That
30.
that
That is a
Tell me
kid.
if you're with me here. There's a little Rob Liefeld coming out of that guy.
I see it. I do
You
see it.
right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Uh, and he's wearing an ILM hat, which is very interesting. Industrial Light and Magic.
Oh, that's cool. That's
Yeah,
George Lucas.
that's right. See, look, you know things. Don't let
Nice.
anybody ever tell you don't know things.
Remember when no one can figure out what I was describing when I said the Jurassic Park poster in the intro in the guy's bedroom, and then someone was like Dawson's Creek? I was
Dawson's
like,
Creek.
yes.
That's right.
Andrew said it. Andrew said Dawson. Yes.
Mattis, I could tell you one of those if you want. All right, there's Medieval Spawn again. There's Medieval Spawn again. And this is the issue where Violator tells a tale about Medieval Spawn to these kids in an alley, except one of those kids is clearly 32 years old.
We should offend somebody at this point in the show. Let's offend someone.
All right, who wants to be offended?
No, someone that's not here. Let's talk behind someone's back. It's not fun. I'm just.
Well, look, I could go through a laundry list of people that aren't here who are probably like, "Oh, I was watching the football game." I'm like, listen. The football game ended 12 hours ago. Actually,
I've been telling everybody today, have a wonderful sporting event. That's been my signing out to anyone I spoke to. Are you sporting eventing tonight? Enjoy your sporting event.
I used to love the Super Bowl, and now I just want to read comics and watch Last of Us and play Last of Us. This book's so beautiful. I hope I inspire somebody to go find it. Now, I will say this. I went to a comic book store close to me this week that had this at $135, and I believe the cover price on this is $120, or maybe it's $135. And I guess it's been sitting there a while. They sold this to me for 15% off, which was beautiful.
1.5 or 5.0?
1.5.
Okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Uh-oh, we just got a lot of comments. Foosball is the devil, Bobby Boucher. Rams played awful this year, so you stop watching. Fair enough. I didn't realize clicking the link tonight was potentially going to cost me $4. Sorry, Andrew.
Andrew, I'm gonna have to buy him too, because I mean, it's just something you got to see in person, man. And this isn't the $450 one, but we want to see that one too.
Yeah, I'll get that one eventually. Captain Crockpot said, "Offend me. I'll give you powder. I feel some comics have too much going on. What panel and bubble to read and when? Am I the only one?"
No, I don't think you're the only one.
Not at all. Some comics, and I will cite the one that pisses me off the most, is Something is Killing the Children. Sometimes I read that book and I'm like, and I'm going this way, and I realized after I get to here that I was supposed to go this way. So there are some comics that the layout just doesn't make sense. So I'm not going to offend you. I'm not even going to say that there's anything wrong with what you said at all. There's nothing.
Hey, look, I'm not trying to derail this thing, but I'm trying to derail it. Oh, I'm on the screen? Show us yours. Because this is not as cool as yours.
All right,
show us yours.
Hold on.
Yes.
Talk about that. I'll be right back.
All right. So this is, I forget the year this is from. This is 2013 Marvel Beginnings. This is just a really cool card from it. There's also a gold foil one and a red foil one. This is a PSA 10. I think there's maybe 4 or 5 on the pop report. I haven't looked recently. There could be 10 or 20 by now. I don't know. We'll check on that later. Really cool card. But when Dave gets back in a second, you'll see what he has. I'm not going to ruin it, but here it comes. All right. Dave's going big. Let's go.
So, well, first off, I just want to say, Amber, I feel your pain. All right. So I made a trade with one of our friends, and our friend is RMS, and I got, oh, wait, what am I doing? Hold on. Let's just do this.
Oh, yeah, let's do it that way. Oh, the light. There it is. Okay. No, the light up. Oh,
all right, let's come back.
We're going back. We're going back. There it is.
So this is that same card in a CGC 9.5 signed by the Lord Todd McFarlane.
Very cool.
Yeah,
it's got the custom label. It's got the little McFarlane scroll going on.
That's right. It does. I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
So yes.
And so for our non-card folks, like those grading companies that go a 9.5 scale in the top, they're supposed to be the equivalent of a PSA 10, because a PSA 10 is imperfect. A 9.5 is obviously, somewhat imperfect. So that's like the cooler version of this. That's very, very cool. Cheers, man. Cheers.
Cheers.
That's dope. Yeah.
Yes,
cool.
it is. It is a very, 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 very cool card. And,
you get a lot of compliments for that. A lot of it. Mr. No Love says, nice sign. Mr. No Love is showing love. Okay?
Yes.
That's what that card does.
He's going against the grain, and he's showing
That's right.
love.
Andrew says, oh, snap looks great. Big fan of anyone that says, oh, snap. But I've already been a fan of Andrew. So,
now, let's just, I mean, we've done this before on another program, but if you want, Andrew, put your Instagram down below. Nobody makes, and with all respect to you, my friend Manu, nobody makes collectibles look cooler than Andrew does on his Instagram account. And it's
not afraid or ashamed to admit that.
Yeah. It's not just comics. It's collectibles. It's different things. He collects little cards for radio frequencies that people used to talk on. I've never seen that shit before. It's so cool.
I didn't know anything about any of that until he put it up and then broke it down.
Yeah. It's dope. I think it's Andrew P. I forget what it is, because I don't look at the name anymore. I look at his icon and I'm like, oh, there's Andrew posting something.
Of course,
See Todd, love Todd. So yes, we're gonna breeze through the rest of this, but I want to just kind of give the story of Medieval Spawn a little bit of love. There you go. So everybody's on Instagram. If you want to see a very, very, very cool Instagram account that has a lot of weird stuff, rare stuff, and very much a lot of Todd stuff, follow Andrew P _CC at Instagram.com /GeoCities /Yahoo Netscape.
That's right. Prodigy Mail.
Yeah, exactly. Prodigy. Besides the artists who have drawn Spawn, who would you like to see work on it? Man, that's really tough, Amber, because like I'm thinking of names, and all the names that popped into my head worked on it already. So let me think. Stephen Platt would have been pretty cool, even though he's not doing comics anymore. I'd love to see Stegman do a full, maybe a 2-issue run on Spawn. I would have loved to have seen George Perez do it. Some of the guys who are no longer around would have been really nice. But, Larson did it. Silvestri did some. Even Alex Ross did a couple of Spawn covers. Yeah, he did. He did some cover. He did a cover for, I think, issue 100. And I think he did at least a 300 cover.
You want to see it.
Oh, hold on. There's Spidey's crotch.
Spidey's first crotch ever, 1966 Marvel Donruss.
Spidey crotch.
And I like the front because it says you and your fire sales. And every now and then I like to fire sale a book.
Is that a Kirby? I think it's hard to tell. Is that a Kirby image?
You would know. You're the historian, my friend.
I don't think it is, actually. It's very interesting. I'd love to know. So, okay, I want to talk about those in a minute, but let's finish this book out, and we're gonna and maybe I'll do. I don't know if I'm gonna do a full box break, but I maybe do some packs.
Break it.
Yeah. Let's see who else gets some. All right, so Derpa said he'd love to see.
Oh, Nerdy Card Guy. He hooked me up at Nerdy Card Guy. That's his handle on Instagram as well as YouTube, I think.
There we go. He's back. Nerdy Card Guy.
Nerdy Card Guy.
Derpa said Umberto Ramos, Federico Vincentini, who I don't know, and Takashi Okazaki Spawn manga would be freaking amazing. Yeah, they did a Spawn manga back in the late mid-90s or something, before Manu went to the future.
Wait, they really did? There's a Spawn manga?
Yeah, there was. It's it's not that hard to find, but I've never owned it. I haven't.
Wow.
Let's go back here. What do we got? Oh, there we go. Ooh. some Wanda eyes, I guess, or the Angela eyes. I don't know who's. Ooh, look at that one.
That's crazy.
It says Diddley. So yes, I think everybody should try and find this book if they can. These artist editions, and I know, some people. Oh, look at that 2-page spread. Oof. I know these things can be a little daunting for people because they are so big. I have now 4 of these, and they're sandwiched in between my bookcases neatly. So, if you don't have the room, I understand. If you have the room, pick one of these up. You're going to really start to appreciate comics in a different way.
I want to tell you an influence you had on me.
Okay.
Because you just said you had like a bunch of these books on a shelf, right?
Yeah.
And we were talking about Wizards, and there was a Wizard issue that you're like, no, I need it for my like shelf collection. I have them on display. And I just got about 12 new Wizards in. And what I do with them is inspect them, make notes on them, and bag and board them.
Sure.
But as I was like flipping through one and looking at it, I was like, I have a good bit of the whole run, and I have these IKEA furniture things everywhere that are just basically made of cubbies, right?
Yeah.
Cubes. And I was like, how come I don't have one cube filled from left to right, just, stuffed with all the wizard spines showing? And I was like, I can definitely sacrifice a cubby full of wizards without bag and boards to just have that.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to, and that's thanks to you. That's so cool.
That was one of the first things. Remember that? Like when we started talking, I sent you a picture of that shelf.
Yeah.
And
yes.
And I was like, yeah, dude, this is how I like to display. Oh, Amber, yeah, there we go. I don't. Bill Sienkiewicz saying.
Whoa, that'd be crazy.
Has
he ever done Spawn?
He's done a couple of covers, but he's never done, to my knowledge, any interiors. I haven't looked through every issue of Spawn. I do have almost the entire run from 1 to 300, but I just saw that Derpa, and we're looking at Okazaki. Ooh, that would be good. I don't want to share this screen because there we go. Hold on one sec. Let's share the screen and show you who he was talking about. I could see Spawn being done this well. Look at that. I mean, that.
Give me a moment.
That almost is a Spawn image right there. Hold on, let me.
Oh yeah, This is Okazaki.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that would work really well.
Yeah, it would. It totally would. All right. Well, thanks.
That's my DMs behind there. You're gonna tell on us.
Yeah, I was gonna blow us up about our conversation about I don't know, Smurfs.
Exactly. Yeah, Smurfs. I forgot. You don't want anyone hearing the Smurfs one, yeah.
Yeah,
for seeing that one, yeah.
Especially the pickled Smurfs.
Slab it up.
Slab it up, brother. All right, so we're nearing the end of issue 15. It's amazing that he kept all this original artwork, and then issue 16 begins some of the first Greg Capullo on Spawn. And Capullo is amazing when it comes to Spawn.
Yeah, he is.
And I hope to see some of his, maybe an artist edition of his. I own one page. I hope to own more. But, woo, look at that. And there's your end page. Little blow-up panel. Hey, look, it's Todd. So that was the book.
That's the whole book? Oh.
That's the whole book. We're done with the book. We're not done with the program, as the old people would say. Program.
Program.
Let's do this.
That signature looks great on the back. Can we just look at it? I know it's a printed signature, but there's a great one on the inside. But let's just look at that one. What a beautiful signature.
It is.
Man. The back of that book looks great.
It does. It's the presentation of this book completely is top notch. I wouldn't expect anything less. So now I know you wanted to talk about the new Flash trailer that dropped, right?
I've been waiting. I've peed myself in anticipation.
Well, we're not going to. No, We could talk about it, but I'm probably going to talk about that on Wednesday night a lot.
A Flash trailer did actually just drop.
Yes, during the Super Bowl or
Oh,
about a
tell
half
me
hour.
about it a little bit. You've seen it? Do you like it? What are we anticipating here?
It's got Michael Keaton as Batman. They're resetting the DC universe with it. It does star Ezra Miller, which he's a very polarizing figure who has a lot of terrible mental health issues and has gotten himself into some hot water because of it. But that's not about the movie. That's about the person. I don't know. I'm interested. I was never really a big Flash fan, but I am a big Batman fan. So to know that Michael Keaton reprising his role as well as Ben Affleck will both be in that movie, it should be fun. I have a feeling it's going to be nonsensical at best, but hey, that's what DC does really well.
Just really quickly, since I don't know anything, what do Batman and Flash have to do with each other?
So Flash is able to like run through the timeline, like the multiverse line, because he can kind of, do that.
He's so
the
fast,
Flash.
he's bending time and reality or whatever. Yeah.
So he's running through all. I think apparently he causes. It's very much like it seems that he's causing a rift, and all of the multiverses for DC are converging, and so you get all these different characters in there. General Zod, played by Michael. Oh God. Anyway, General Zod's coming back. See what happens when I'm live? I can't think of stuff when I'm in the driver's seat, but when I'm on Justin's show, it's like, oh, the information is just flying right through me.
In all fairness, you have thrown 10,000 facts at us, and you're only focusing on the one or two that you couldn't remember.
That's true.
Right? In all
That's
fairness.
true. But that trailer dropped, and then the new Guardians of the Galaxy trailer dropped, which is James Gunn's last movie as Guardians director and last movie in Marvel. So.
Oh, okay then.
Yeah. Should we open a pack up or something?
Yeah, let's go 50-50 screen and make our cards kiss.
All right, hold on one sec.
I want kissing cards.
Kissing cards. Here we go. 50-50 screen. Hold on. Wait, where am I? Oh, hold on.
Yay. One time for the internet.
Now, if you had a third, they could make a third card. Wait, why don't we make
it's not
it
late
half?
enough.
Let's make it half and half.
Okay. All right.
This is way too hard. I have too much of a glare.
I got it. Get in here. Dude, Inception.
Wrong. Did you ever see that movie?
Thank you for dealing with that, my friends.
Yeah. Which side? The newer one. Michael, what's his name? Why can't I remember his name? He was on he was in Boardwalk Empire. He's in Take Shelter. Michael Michael shit. It's not Michael shit. Not Michael Schumacher.
Dude, Boardwalk Empire was an incredible show.
Yes, it was. I love that show. Yeah. Fun fact. Do you want to know a fun fact about my family?
Yeah.
Okay, so second season of Boardwalk Empire deals with the tri-state area, the Jersey, Philly, New York, syndicate under Meyer Lansky. My dad's uncle, my great uncle, is Irving Wexler, and that is Waxy Gordon, he's in a character in the second season of Boardwalk Empire.
Whoa!
Yeah, I found out when I was like 13 or 14. He died in Alcatraz, sometime in like 1954, maybe.
Oh wow!
And he went to jail for tax evasion. What they get most bootleggers for, or whatever. But yeah. So Michael Shannon. There we go.
Shannon. I'd be remiss. I don't know how to use that word, but I'd be remiss, and I'd already forgotten, so I got to say it. I'd be remiss if I hadn't mentioned. I forgot. I got mine from RMS too, by the way.
Oh, see, RMS, the star of the show. He's not even in here anymore.
He might. He might be. He might be.
I know. He might be. RMS, if you're in here, we love you. All right, I'm not going to do the whole box. I want to save some of these packs, but I want to open a couple of these.
All right, what are we doing? I know it's weird, but I feel like we should only do 2 packs.
Okay, 2 packs. Let's just take the top 2 packs.
2 packs.
All right. So this is all chromium image cards. Sound off in the comments. Your non-Spawn favorite image book from the 90s. I'd love to hear what everybody has to say. Do you have one? Is there anything that you collected besides Spawn when you were a
I
kid?
enjoyed looking at Gen 13 books.
Oh, of course. Why wouldn't you? I mean,
You know,
I did too.
Witchblade.
Ooh, Witchblade was great.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on. See this
What have you
first
done?
card? Let's see
Kind
if
of, not really. Hold on.
Yeah, it's really hard to get these. All right, let's.
Yes.
Okay. I'm pretty sure that we looked at that image. It's going to be impossible for me to find, but anyway, I just got really psyched at that card. It's really tough to see this. Sorry, my lighting isn't appropriate for chromium packs. It's really
Dude, I just did something on the screen, on the link stream or stream link or yard of streams, whatever it is, that I've never done before. And for the first time, I have full screen.
Oh, really?
I mean, my life has changed. 50 weeks into being with my friends on YouTube. That's the first time I've actually seen the thing. Wow.
Well, I'm glad to hear that. Derpa loved Cyberforce, which was Mark Silvestri's book, which was fantastic. I love Savage Dragon. Savage Dragon was great.
Did you see the Savage Drag Queen variant that a friend of ours put on Instagram the other day? Apparently it came out during Splitting Image and all of that.
No, I never saw that.
It's literally it's Savage Dragon wearing makeup, lipstick, pearls, a purse, and I was just like, wow, I cannot believe this exists.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I need to see that. Derpa likes Cyberforce by Silvestri, and Mattis loves Youngblood. Youngblood was great. Speaking of, there goes that Jim Lee card just right on its corner. Yeah, these are really hard to do on a stream here. I wonder, wait, hold on. What if I just did this? Nope. Oh, I got it. You ready? Boom.
Yeah. There you go.
There we go.
It's good. It's good.
Is that better?
It is.
Look at that.
Justin got me a PSA 10 of one of the cards from this set.
Oh, I know. I was watching the stream, and when he sent you that card and I saw it on the screen, I was like, I'm going to buy a box of this. And I went on eBay and I bought a box of this.
I love how everything is just so interconnected.
Yeah, we inspire each other to do stuff like that. There's Bowser.
Is it interconnected or interconnected? What's the word?
I think you're saying the same word twice.
Okay, so there is a T in it, I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Interconnected. But when we say stuff like that, we usually, the T almost falls silent. Interconnected. Yeah, I see what you're saying.
February is just like a long-running joke, right? Like, no one actually takes that word seriously, right? February?
It's a moronic word. Moronic.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
What is that? No.
I don't know. Youngblood. So I'd like to give the Max also needs to be talked about, because Sam Keats, the Max.
Max.
Such a great series and such a great cartoon. Yeah.
Yeah. That's number 2 for me.
Okay, there you go.
Witchblade is just super dope, but Max was like on some others, like a different level.
So your PSA
Max was late night MTV.
Yes, it was. Your Spawn PSA, like I wonder how hard these are or how easy they are to PSA 10, because like they look like they should be easy, but I feel like that would probably make them hard. But
yeah, I don't know. I felt, from what I remember of these cards, they're super high quality. Like, they come out of the pack really nice.
They do.
I think if you're avoiding surface dimples, because sometimes you'll see like those like bubbles, like fish eyes in paint or whatever.
Sure.
On the chrome. So if you could avoid those and you avoid some of the printing lines, you probably have a really good chance. I wouldn't be able to tell you what mine looks like because Justin ain't shipped it to me yet.
That's right. That's right.
You know, yeah.
These are really cool.
Okay.
I had about some packs of these like 2 years ago, and I sold most of them. But yeah, so these are the Image Universe Chromium packs. You can get them, I think, you can get. I paid like $50 or $60 ship for my box, so really cheap. They are a little bricked, so they probably need a microfiber cloth. But maybe I'll submit a couple of these. I already put a lot of fingerprints on this one. Let's just do one right on his face. There we go.
Oh my god.
All right, let's kill this camera. So yeah, oh, did you see my new White Gold Industry shirt?
Oh, you're wearing the Huff. Oh, that's White Gold?
No, this is White Gold.
Industries?
Look at the
nice.
back.
No, I didn't see that. Bro. Oh, that's sick. They went crazy with that.
Yeah, Spidey eating the donuts.
Real nice.
Yes, Sam Keith wrote, drew, created the Max. That's all him. And yes, so if you're a Sam Keith fan, you gotta check out the Max. Oh look, Manu's got a Spawn on his shoulder. Yeah. Put your Spawn on my shoulder.
Stay.
Spawn. Whisper in my ear, Spawny. So so the trailers dropped today, and I think it's very interesting to see what they're gonna do. We're gonna get now. Manu has never watched an MCU movie besides Iron Man, so it's like the internet's goal in life to try and get him to watch it. And I think we'll have to have that happen at some point, but it's not going to be my doing, because if the man doesn't want to watch a goddamn Marvel movie, he doesn't have to watch a goddamn Marvel movie.
Appreciate you. Thank
you. Have you picked up anything this week? Anything interesting?
I want to show you something. Yeah. Wait, I've already shown you.
Well, what about the friends that are in the chat?
Yeah, there's a couple of things that I picked up. Right, they're not all here.
Okay.
And so, I mean, they've all been delivered, but not to this address. And I'll have those in a few days. And then there's a bunch of stuff that's on the way. And obviously, I have a stack of wizards that I did get into here today so that I can go through them. But we're all very familiar with those covers. So that's not a big deal, but you know about this, but I wanted to show this. I have a 13 newsstand back in the collection.
Oh, there it is.
That really, red T. McFarlane really makes those spiders jump out, man.
That thing pops.
So super happy to have brought this home. And another interesting thing about this, which I'm not mad at, it's actually quite nice. This is from this signing, but this individual that submitted this opted to not have the custom logo, which is actually quite nice, right? Because I've got a lot of the custom logo now. And then I think you may have seen it. I'm not sure. This is the 9/6 newsstand signed.
Oh wow, I haven't seen it in person.
We didn't get the full T. I mean, we didn't get the full Todd.
Right.
We got the T McFarlane, but it's the 9/6 Wizard One newsstand, and we did get the custom logo. These are some of the most recent cool things that are like within reach, and of course, yeah, the Spidey crotch card, which I absolutely love. And I did also pick up this, which is a 95 Flair Spider-Man 2099 in a PSA 10.
Oh, nice.
I love the cards, really nice. This is like 90s version of AI, right? The digital coloring, right? That's actually, there was Fleer and Flare. The AI in Flare stands for artificial intelligence. Little known fact, but I figured I'd add some value on this stream tonight. So there it is.
You go.
And this was really cheap. And cards like this are ending really inexpensively. And when I really love them visually, even if I, have them from my childhood collection ungraded, I definitely bring the 10s home because I think they're awesome.
You got to bring those 10s home.
You got to bring them home.
I picked up a decent book this week that I might have talked about a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Detective Comics number 140, the first appearance of the Riddler. That one just popped into my radar on Tuesday, and on Wednesday morning it was mine. And I can't believe I have that.
It's not delivered to you yet, right?
Oh, no, it's here. I picked it up. Like I bought it locally.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah. I don't.
Congrats on that. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It's very rare, and I know this is like the opposite of you, but you do buy graded for the most part, also. But it's very rare that I would buy something big and not have it be in person. It's just it's not how I do what I do.
I appreciate and respect that, man, because you're eliminating so much risk, and there's so much peace of mind, and just going and knowing exactly what it is and making it yours without any
Right.
shipping, you know?
Any
Wow.
shipping, any description that could be a lie or wrong. Uh, all right. Well, it looks like Derpa's going to be selling some stuff this week because he had an unfortunate giant rock hit his windshield. And
Wait,
Mattis,
what?
yeah, he's all right, apparently.
Oh, okay, he's gotta take care of the windshield. All right,
Yeah.
it's good that you're okay. Okay.
Mattis, what kind of was it raw? Was it slabbed? What condition? And congratulations. I hope you get it because it's Hulk 340.
340, baby.
It's C Todd. Mattis saw Todd and then he put in an offer for Todd.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he bid Todd.
he bid Todd.
He bid
I I am looking to no, I don't want to talk about it because I just don't want somebody else to bid on it, you know?
You're bidding on a Wizard 1 on Heritage Auction that ends tomorrow?
I am not.
Okay.
But I did put a bid in uh on Heritage for their art auction that ends on Wednesday for the cover of Simpsons #5, which
Whoa.
is the Bill Morrison homage to Amazing Spider-Man 50.
Oh,
Yeah, you
no
know that.
way.
Yeah. It's
Dude,
it's probably going to go for way too much money. I'm not
it
going
has
to
to. How sick is that?
I know. And so I just put in a bid just to feel part of the auction, you know, and also to
I
get the
can appreciate it.
notification, you know, to get
I
the
can appreciate
notification.
it. Oh, I
Yeah.
want to hear what I want to read what Andrew said here. He said, "I'm not a big fan of that custom label. Too many signatures on one slab. I'm not mad at you in that opinion. I'm
No,
not
I'm
mad
not.
at you in that opinion. Between the OG printed cover and the pen signature, that's enough for me. You know what? Like now I have quite a few of the custom slabs, the custom labels, and they are a little. It could have been smaller.
It should have been
Like
smaller or it should
the
have been
thing. Look at
yeah.
it. It could have been just a tiny thing in there, kind of, just there a little. And also, I will say, and I don't typically criticize this logo, but they went with like a modern version of Todd Scroll. Like that's not the Todd Scroll look that
Yeah.
we grew up with. This is on the back of one of those books that came out, like a really clean, modern look.
Yeah.
But Andrew, I, I'd imagine I wouldn't ever sort of challenge your visual opinion on things, and I'm reluctantly agreeing with you here. It's like I don't want to be on screen live agreeing that it isn't the greatest thing, but it is. You're right,
Let me
Andrew.
just alleviate you.
Okay,
CGC's design team is fucking stupid.
they're not. You
Absolute
calling them a design
absolutely.
team does. It's
No,
not. They don't have a
it's not. No.
design team.
Their sense of design is garbage. It's
They're
absolute garbage. Look at that label and look at all the text on there. What do
they're
you
a
got?
grading company that doesn't even know how to grade. Why would we
Yeah.
expect them to know how to do anything else that isn't even what they're supposed to be doing?
Listen, you can let the animal loose on my channel.
Oh, but Andrew, I appreciate what you're saying. I do. I had to just throw a couple of wizards out there for the custom label and stuff. These are the ones that I submitted myself. But like buying this one without it, I'm really happy that it doesn't have it because it's so clean and good
Hold
looking.
on.
So yeah.
Hold on.
Where's he going? Hey, he's got a lot of boxes of comics over there. Look at that.
Okay. All right. Here, let's do this. Okay, so this is a much better custom label. Because
Only on Spawn 1. And on
yes.
any other comic book, it doesn't make sense. Not even on a Malibu 13, even though it's almost the same cover, but the coloration it's the exact cover of Spawn 1. It makes sense on a Spawn 1.
Of course. This is the only thing that works for me. Like
the back of that label's dope, though. Show the back.
Yes.
That's dope. How it's kind of faded and blended. Like, that's all right. The Todd scroll being there is fine, because the back.
Yeah, and also you know what they really needed to do? Just don't even need the signed by Todd McFarlane. I don't care that doesn't need to be on the front. I know it's signed by Todd McFarlane. I got 2 eyes. They work.
But what if you had one of those books with 18 signatures on it?
Then you're just ruining a comic.
Facts.
Listen, okay. It is all boils down to his personal preference, clearly, on anything for the most
This
part.
could Andrew's right though. This could have been better. It could have been more tasteful. The colors they chose could have actually complemented the color of the
Yeah,
label.
of
Like, oh,
course.
let's put a pastel, vomitous, faded, weird tan against a bright yellow. Like,
How about this idea? I don't know how you would work it out, but make the grading box, put the graded box and make it amalgamated with the scroll. Make it one thing.
that would have been all right. They did it with
Yeah.
like the symbiote goop and the webs for those other
Yeah.
ones.
Do something. I'm sorry, Amber. I'm not trying to attack anybody here except
They had a
CGC.
Wolverine logo with like the tears through it once.
Yeah, make the God damn it. Anyway, I don't know. I whatever. You know what? I will say this. I got 4 books signed by Todd. I don't want any of them except the Mark Jewelers one. I don't even want this book. I'm selling it this week. I'm selling the Batman books. I don't want them. I don't like the way they look at all. And it's not even the autograph. It's the overall slab.
Man.
Yeah. Yeah.
For me, same point. Duplicate of the cover image is like a dupe of the signature. Definitely doesn't ruin it though. Andrew, you and I don't think we were connected or friends yet when they first announced the Secret Wars 8 custom, the jazz hands.
Yeah.
And I had a little rant with someone. I was exchanging voice notes with someone in the DM, but like I thought the rant was potent enough to like clip it and put it on like a story or a reel. I don't remember. I think it was a story. And basically I was like, how redundant, you know? And it's only going to work on the one book, really, because it's too much. And then on that one book that it works on, now you're going to have 4 jazz hands. Like that's too many jazz hands, you know? And but I think everything that Andrew's saying and everything that you're saying is perfectly summed up by what you said, Dave. Their design team is a joke. In fact, it is not a design team. They do not have a clue what they're doing in terms of what looks good and what doesn't. And when they do get something right, they screw up the execution of its placement or something. Sure as shit, they're going to screw something up. I have no idea how they've maintained anything.
Well, I know why, but just to answer Andrew, yes, I got a Amazing Spider-Man 301 Mark Jewelers signed, and they put everything custom label, except they forgot to put Mark Jewelers on the label.
It's not the only important, thing. That bit. That bit's not important, my friend. It's not
literally
important.
The only thing about that book you cannot see with the naked eye, and that's the thing they forgot to label. Yeah, and you know what the sad thing is, and I've been saying this in conversation with friends and stuff for 2 years. CGC has made all of these strides to not be able to do anything 100% perfectly, and CBCS is just sitting there like, oh, and all they have to do is just pick the ball up, go down court. There's an easy layup right there. They could win the game, but instead CBCS is.
The people at the head of these companies, I don't know, but Andrew says I could go for 8 jazz hands. He is a spider after all. So another friend of ours, Venomized MG. Venomized MG is the Instagram name. Pretty sure. And he submitted 2 wizards to the signing, one SDCC and one direct. Got them graded, came back. And the SDCC label with the custom McFarlane was on the direct, and the direct was on the SDCC. So obviously he sends them back, waits the time it takes, gets the books back. The right grade and detail is on the right label. Completely left his custom McFarlane off of it this time, though. They just don't get anything right, man.
They're clearly doing way too much than they can, like they have employees for, and with that comes no checks and balances, and it's clear there's no checks and balances. I mean, this company is the same company that sent me back a book slab backwards. They sent me back a book damaged, and now they sent me back a book with the wrong label.
Man, I got books over there right now. CGC, I love you. Please do, please.
Listen, Your name isn't on the label as 9.9 newsstand. They don't know. They don't know.
Okay.
Used to be a debate within the sports card world that a non-pack pulled auto damages the card. Does anyone in the comic world believe this signing the comic reduces the value?
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I think it all comes down to personal preference. At this point in my comic collecting and comic business, would I ever get a huge key signed? No, not at all. No. Do I have a couple of signed books that I got signed myself from non-CGC signings? Yes. Was one of them an ASM 316? Yes. Was one of them a Batman 423? Yes. Those hold more sway to me and more value in my life than this thing does. This thing.
Oh my gosh. He really just
I got carpet.
Hey, you know what? It's still handled gentler than CGC with it.
That's right.
It's fine.
Light it right on the carpet. It's fine.
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. What's your opinion on the signed books and value and stuff like that?
I'm not a huge signature guy. Like it's not the end all be all for me. Like I talk to friends. Could you pick that up, please, Mr. Nolop says. I have friends that are that often do a lot of signing, and I support them because it's what they do.
Sure.
But for me, I'm like, I don't like a book that's overly. I don't like a book with a bunch of signatures, right?
No, I don't either.
I'm not a fan of that, but there's some books. It's very nuanced. I'm not everything doesn't have to be signed, but then there's a couple of opinions of mine that are just mine and other people are against it. Like for one, if it's Marvel, I think it is enhanced with the Stan Lee signature. And that's almost a blanket statement. If it's a Marvel product,
I disagree.
I know a lot of people disagree, right? And I'm just like, no, he's the Godfather. None of this happens without him. He could sign whatever he wants, right? And that's just how I feel. But I understand the other side of it. And then I'm not a huge fan of, like, for instance, the Maximum Carnage Acclaim book. My Sienkiewicz signed one. I have two, but my 9/6 signed one by Sienkiewicz is the better looking signature because bright white signature.
Yeah,
I love that thing. You know, in that situation, Sienkiewicz, kind of an oddball artist on an oddball book, it just feels super right to me.
Yeah,
you know, stuff like that.
I think that's what it really boils down to is personal preference. Like my preference to not once, you know what it is? I think I just don't want any of my books signed and slabbed. I want my books signed, but I don't want them slabbed. Unless it's got like something extra on it that adds to it, you know? Like a sketch or a remark or something. But I like what Amber's saying here. She's excited for the Claremont signing, but I hope to meet him in person. I've met him in person. He's such a nice, like he's so nice to meet. And like I hope you get to meet him in person because he just like his writing, he will talk and talk.
Oh, that's very cool.
And talk.
CGC Signature Series is not a scam, but it's kind of a scam. I'm gonna tell you why. It's not a scam in the sense that it's a witness signature, and that's why you can have the feel-goodness of it, right?
Sure.
You know that it's actually the person. That's not a scam. The problem, I'm not going to use the word scam. The problem is this, and I'll give you an example before I get into the problem. So I sent a direct edition Wizard to CGC. I thought it was a 9.8. They gave me a 9.6. Now I have to waste my time turning it into a 9.8. Ultimately, I did.
Right.
I cracked it. We gave it a little bit more love just to make sure. Well, they also damaged it. So we had to give it a little bit more love to get it back to the 9.8 that it was rightfully supposed to be, even though they gave it a 9.6. And then we submitted it again as a brand new book. They didn't know that it was the same book. We didn't send it in the case, and it got its 9.8. We had control of that situation. We being myself and Taj, the person caring for the books, my friend Taj. We had control. It was our choice whether we wanted to crack it open. We got to assess it. We got to care for it, resubmit it. Here's what I can't stand, and this is because CGC can't be trusted. They're incompetent. They don't do everything correctly, and sometimes they're just flat out wrong. If you have a Signature Series book, if everything goes well, you're winning. But if you get screwed on the grade, meaning they manhandled it before encapsulating it and now they owe you a press, or you want another shot at it, another go at it, you want it to be regraded for whatever reason, well, you can't crack that book out. You are now vulnerable. You are now owned by CGC. For that book to maintain its yellow label, you have to send it in its case to CGC,
Right.
so that the team of incompetent handlers there, that's a wrong word to use.
No,
you know what I mean?
incompetent is correct.
Right? The team of folks there, they have to crack it open. Then CCS, a pressing division that is not like a specialty division, it's not like they actually give a crap about your books. They have to press it. You know, the whole thing has to follow their little process so it maintains that label. I hate being vulnerable in that way. I hate being owned by somebody in that way. And if that means I never get another book signed again because I want to avoid any chance of that sort of frustration, then so be it, you know, because they misgrade books all the time and you have to send them back to them. That's not fair. I mean, I get it. It has to happen that way, but we set ourselves up for that by submitting to Signature Series, and I don't like that.
Well, I can tell you in the case of this book, and I'm not going to throw it again, or will I, is that this book was mishandled. Do you want to know how I know this book was mishandled? There's a goddamn there's a goddamn finger bend where the signature is.
There you go. And if you wanted to address it, you can't crack this open, have your boy, you know, your friend press it. No, it has to go back. You have to hope CCS is paying attention, taking care of it, you know, all of this stuff. So, like, I have a book there. Man, dude, we have a friend. I'm going to leave his name out because I'm not trying to, like, put him on blast. But
sure,
he's big on signings and he's big on really cool McFarlane books. And he's submitted a lot of books to the signing. His most recent 6 or 7 posts, books that he sent already slabbed as 9 6s.
Yeah.
Hoping they would come back 9 6s or a chance at higher, because for every single book, he opted for a CCS press.
Okay.
A great majority of them came back 9 2s and 9 4s. And they were already 9 6s being pressed just to make sure it maintains a 9 6 or maybe gets a lucky bump. They went down, majority of them. How do you explain that?
You explain that with 3 words: crappy grading company, CGC. So, and you can't blame Todd for this, because, like, Todd, he was trying to do the right thing, signing everything. He's going back another time. Like, they turned it into 4 signings. So, you know, I don't know. It's like, I feel like it's like this. It's not a peer pressure thing. It's a FOMO thing, right? Like, I submitted 4 books. Like, you would think I would have submitted 25 because of how much I love Todd. But I know that, like, I met him already. I got stuff signed myself, but people feel like this is their only chance. Comic book fever is as high as it could be. Todd fever is as high as it could be. 32,000 books get sent in because of this. And it doesn't, it's not a win. Nobody's going to get a win out of this. Oh, comic police are here. Woo, woo, woo. What's up, Sean? But
what's going on, man?
I think there's, you know, some people are really happy with what they got, but overall, it's like, it just seems like everybody was disappointed by the signing. You know?
I mean, some people, dude. There's again, I'm gonna leave a name out, but if anybody's curious, we could privately discuss it. There are some people that I have that seem to have really great luck with the look of their signature, the handling of their books, and all of this and all of that.
I wonder why.
It's very weird.
Oh, well.
But, you know, no tinfoil stuff here. One of my books, dude, like the SDCC Wizard with the full Todd, like, how beautiful. You know,
right,
like,
came out
got
great.
Got lucky because out of the 3 that I submitted, 1 had the full Todd, 2 of them didn't, and I asked for the full Todd on all of them, but I'm happy that I at least got lucky on 1.
Sure. Amber's happy. She got her first 9.8, so let's go.
Congrats, Amber.
Congrats, indeed. And Captain Crockpot said, I wonder if it's due to the human element, lack of consistent tier grade against. Is AI the only way to grade fairly and consistently? No, I don't know how AI is going to be able to grade inside a book. I don't know how AI, like, I'm not.
CGC doesn't even open the books, bro.
It's
They didn't
true.
leave the Mark Jewelers note off your book because they
just
noticed it
never
was a Mark
saw it.
Jewelers. It's because they never saw that it was a Mark Jewelers. Why would they read the pages after they're about to slab it? You're not going to open it up to make sure it was complete. It's slabbed now.
It's true. So my hatred for certain things AI is not part of this discussion. What do you think about the idea if if they could get AI to do some book rating? What do you think would happen with that? Would AI be able to tell color touch and restoration? I don't
I
know.
have no idea.
Yeah, like
I
I
have
don't know
no
what
clue.
the future could be of that because is AI part of card grading now? I'm not really
Some
familiar.
companies they say a hybrid approach, but I don't know what their actual tech is. But like Brian was, mentioning on the Spidey Hit show on the Marvel show, Spidey Hit
Yeah,
channel, um, a future for card grading with AI seems more possible or believable for me than comic books. Comic books have more to it.
sure. Yeah, there's
So
there's a lot less involved with a card.
yeah, so I don't know, but to this point where is it due to human element lack of it is definitely due to the human element, but there's also just a lack of care. And I don't just lump that into the human element argument. Like if you are working for this company
Yeah.
and people are sending you their prized possessions, things they love, you shouldn't be able to write off care as a human element, you know? You have to care. You have to be careful. You have to have respect for these things. To add finger bends to something someone pressed and sent in to get the grade it deserves is just disrespect. It is a slap in the face. You know,
Yeah,
they're bad company.
they are. They are. Mattis, we'll have to get you an interview with CGC, and then
Please.
you could be our guy. I wonder if grading is going to change if more people buy their book. I'm not sure if you mean like the.
He's
I'm not.
talking about I think Amber's talking about that grading book
Oh, I
that
see.
Matt
I see.
Nelson put out.
Yeah, yeah. I see
Um,
what you're saying.
they need to read their own book. Matt
Yeah, it's
Nelson
true.
took 11 years to put that book out or something like that.
And it's all
Like,
bullshit anyway. Let me tell you something. I want to go into
please.
a little story in a sec. But humans can't agree if the dress was gold or blue, so that's true. They can't agree on shit. Um, when they
Oh,
use
that's a good question, Andrew. As soon as he tells his story, I want to talk about that because I
when
have
they
two
use
different experiences.
lasers to scan surfaces of their yeah that well I don't know if lasers could detect that, but that kind of goes into what Sean was saying is that black light on color touch. But here's my grading, and then RS will get to that. So I had never graded a comic book, like spot graded a comic book until about a year and a half ago when I sent my first submission in as a comic seller, as where I am now as the West Coast Avengers.
Mhm.
My collecting background comes from years, 20, 25 years of collecting cards of comics, records, anything and everything. So I've gotten to know condition based on, whatever, not based on CGC, just based on general conditioning of things.
Mhm.
So I've done really well with my spot grading. I've done so well in my spot grading. I have not been disappointed by a single book I've graded at all, because
Nice.
I've already set my expectations to being like, this is between this or this.
Yeah.
Last year I bought a collection of ASM. It was a long box of ASM, had the whole McFarlane run, like 7 copies of Carnage, all this shit. So I take out the ASM 316, and I don't know if I told you about this, but the entire right, so from the like 6th page to the last page, not including the covers, there was a chunk of all of the pages taken out, about that much, like about an inch.
Vaguely familiar. No, I don't think I know the story. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm like, holy shit, this is a printer pull. Like there's a black mark on the pages that looked like it was literally torn out of the printer, and it left some like, ink residue or whatever. So I showed it to Maddie, and Maddie was taking a bunch of stuff for me to press. And I was like, look, either they're going to look at this book and this book is going to get a 1.5 because it's got, pieces of the pages torn out. Or they're going to look at this book, they're going to say what Dave said, this is a printer pull, this is a manufacturer error, this book is almost perfect with the exception of that. So we rolled the dice, fucking book came back a 9.6. A 9.6 with that many, inches of pages missing. And I was looking at it, I'm like, I was right. Either, well, you could be right. They never opened the book up.
Maybe that, or you're right.
Or I was right.
The fact that
they looked at that and they said, oh, this was torn out. Like, this is a manufacturer error. So, like, it's just
track
very
it
strange.
And send it in again. Let's see what they do.
Oh, I already sold it. But what I'm saying, and the reason why I told that story, if I know that I can get the grades that I'm supposed to get, what the fuck is going on in that company that they can't actually grade right? Like, what's happening that people are sending these books in that are like, oh, this, and they're doing their research, they've done this before, they're sending their books in, and that stuff's coming back 9.2 when it should have been a 9.6. Like, what's happening over there?
I don't make excuses for them, because once you pay someone for a service, excuses are out the window. Perform the service, or else don't accept money for it. But what is happening is that when you and I are grading a book, we have the luxury of, having the few books that we're grading that evening, and our focus and our music playing and whatever, like, it's not a job, it's what we're doing. And over there, these are people working. They're just, like I said, there's no graders. There's just people looking for paychecks, or waiting for their paychecks, rather.
Right.
That's what it is. It's not a grading company. It's a company. There's no graders. There's employees. That's it. And once you introduce that dynamic, it's a volume operation now. Time is of the essence. All of these things matter. So that's why the ball is being dropped left and right. But now, again, I say that just because it's a matter of fact, not because it's right. That shouldn't be the case. But it goes back to, are you trying to be the biggest or the best? And they're trying to be the biggest. The idea of being the best is just about brand, and their brand is already victorious. So they don't care about performing. They just care about selling. You got to remember, you don't have to remember anything. You know this already. They're not a privately owned company. Well, they're still privately owned, but they're privately owned by a publicly traded company. Or does that even mean they're private anymore? I don't know. But an investment company owns them, an investment firm that owns who knows how many companies. The idea is just to make them bigger on paper and sell it.
Yeah.
That's the whole idea now.
They don't care about quality. And we, unfortunately, and I mean we as the comic community as a whole, the dealers, the stores, the collectors, we all dropped the ball because we could have just said no. There could have been pushback, and it's almost too late to push back, because, like, I can sell certain books raw, but there's an entire age, 2 ages of books, and I mean golden and silver. You can sell them raw, but you need to sell them slab to make the money. I hate it.
No,
all right,
where we?
Oh, no, I was gonna just post his comment, but let's keep talking about it.
Oh yeah, I do want to address this comment, but then the other thing that I was, and Andrew actually knows who I was referring to when I was talking about the books coming back lower grades. That was a trip, wasn't it? I didn't even have the heart to, I couldn't even leave comments on that, because what are you supposed to write? I'm so sorry. Well, I guess that's what you write. You write,
sorry for your loss.
Sorry, that sucks. Like, CGC sucks. But what I wanted to say was, we have to stop thanking them for doing their job when all they do is do their job right. That should be the norm. And people will get their submissions back from CGC. And when I was a young to the world of grading 3 years ago, when I was new to grading, I used to put CGC up on that pedal. Well, actually, my first submission ever, I learned all of my lessons right away. CGC is a joke. My first submission ever. And then things started to kind of smoothen themselves out. But I would do the same thing. They would give me the grade that I wanted the book to have, that I thought the book should have. I'm like, thank you, CGC.
Yeah.
Wait, why am I thanking them? I paid them.
Right. They did the service. You don't thank McDonald's when they make you your French fries.
Right. And there are a lot of people that like to avoid confrontation, and they'll do the thank you and tag CGC. But when something goes wrong, they're such nice people that they'll vent on their post but the CGC won't be a tag. It'll just be CGC. It won't be at, it won't be a tag.
Right.
They're keeping that part quiet because they feel like there's some personal relationship they have, and they're not trying to disrupt that. The only personal relationship, they do not care about any of you, any of us, period. They do not care. And so I want everyone to be empowered to blast them when something goes wrong and not thank them when they do what they've been paid for. If you didn't pay for it, thank them. You paid for it, my friends. They didn't do you a favor.
Well,
right?
CGC didn't get the episode that I shot destroying them because they ended up making right to an extent when they fucked up one of my books. But I didn't thank them. I just didn't attack them.
Yeah, right. No, and that's good. That's good. And now, so Andrew, RS Cali, thoughts on CGC pressing after signatures versus prior. Now, simply stated, I understand why, because obviously prior to going into grading, you want all of the touching to have already happened. Then you want it to be made. And then you want it to be represented, smoothened out, made as good as it can be, then get graded. So that makes sense. The problem, though, which was a hypothetical concern of mine a long time ago, and now a more realized reality, is that heat on that ink, and not a winning, it's not good.
They don't do hot press, CCS. They do cold press. No, they do.
Okay, well, check this out then. So draw. Okay.
I think.
No, you might be right, because how does that make sense? It doesn't compute for me. How does that make sense? I don't get it. So here's the personal experience that I'm drawing from. I own a 9.8 Maximum Carnage Acclaim signed by Sienkiewicz.
Sure.
Right?
Great.
But I think you might know the story of that book. I didn't grade that book. It was somebody else, a friend of ours, No Coast Comics, graded the book. And he was elated when he saw that it was a 9.8, in his thing, and it got delivered to him. But the way that they wedged this book using a multi-wedge system, because they have all these crappy things they try arbitrarily. And so in shipping, it took the right bump. It got jammed into the top of the case. One part folded over, one part got creased. And so CGC completely took responsibility. It was it was a flaw in the way that they encapsulated the book. And they said, send it back. We'll press the book. We'll try our best to maintain the 9.8. If it's color broken or it's not going to maintain the 9.8, we can't help you. It's not, and then we'll explore compensation. Regardless, it maintained the 9.8. But one thing that did happen is that there are now smudges of the silver ink on the side of the signature. So I would assume, if you're right, which you could very well be, that CCS normally does cold pressing, if that's the truth, you mean only on signed books they do cold pressing?
Oh, no, I thought it was just a cold quick press.
Well, cold quick presses are just as worthless as that sounds. So that's not great. But I would assume that this book required heat because they're actually correcting real damage. And so now it's got smudges. They got the 9.8, it's got smudges. I still love it. Sure. It's one of two. You don't complain too much, but it wasn't smudged prior to having to be corrected.
Well, right? I'll say this just to interject in that. I worked in the autograph industry for years. If they used a silver paint pen, those things actually never really dry. And I could take, for example, I had a signed hockey puck by Ed Belfour, the goaltender of Chicago Blackhawks. It had been signed for years. I accidentally was moving it and out of a case into another case, and my finger touched it and smudged it. So if it's silver paint pen, it can be smudged years later by anything.
Okay.
But I don't know if they do hot heat. But anyway, continue. Sorry.
No, and I'm a little concerned. I have a wizard there now that was, in my opinion, awfully graded. And like we said, I'm owned by them. It's a signature series book, so it's with them. It's at CCS right now. I've never done anything through CCS. A Wizard magazine is not easy to press.
No.
So let's see what they do, and let's see what happens to my signature. Hopefully everything works out. Andrew says books get multiple signatures over several years. True. with presses in between. Good point. So it can be done. The problem is this is faster and makes them less liable for any problems during pressing, etc. The problem is what's
problem
the
is
problem
this is
is this is
faster, makes them less
faster.
liable for.
What is this is faster, Andrew? Just a little bit of a little clarity for me there. I got lost. What's faster? Cold press is faster. Pressing it after it's signed is faster. Or what's faster? But yeah, he's right though. Books get multiple signatures over the years. They definitely get pressed in between for sure.
Just going to get to a couple of comments.
Yeah.
Amber said, my issue is when people are getting grades that are higher than what this should be. That is wicked. Well, I mean,
I hate that. I hate that.
It's the same. It goes both ways, right? It's like people getting grades that shouldn't be 9/8 and people getting grades that are like 6 points below what they actually should be. It's just, the problem is, and to sum up what she's saying and what we're saying, consistency. There is none. That's what CGC should, I want to redesign CGC's website, and you go onto the page, it says CGC, and then right under it, the problem is consistency. We don't have it.
Senecism, I would love to show that particular book too, but my biggest, like the ones that are like, they're not here. I can show you, if you want to see, I don't have the 1 of 2 with me, but I have some of my 9/6s signed by Sienkiewicz, and I know that's like, dang, I want to show you the Sienkiewicz signed 9/8. But I promise you, the 9/6 that is here with me here looks better than the Sienkiewicz sign. So if you want to see that one, I will pull that one out. And that's not a 1 of 2, but that's like a 1 of 5 or 6 or something. It's still pretty difficult to get.
It's actually one of my birthday presents you're giving to me this year.
That's right. There you go. Right. And so let me know if you want to see that one. Right. But that's not my coolest Sienkiewicz signed book, but it's my coolest. Yes, it is. It's my coolest Sienkiewicz signed book. The 9/6, it looks great. The 9/8, which I can't show you right now, but I'll retrieve it and show you tomorrow if you join me on the other YouTube channel that I'll be on tomorrow.
That's true. That's true. By the way, that's Bill Sienkiewicz, Bill Sienkiewicz, Sienkiewicz. I just did the sexier version.
Symbiotes by Nature's with us. Nice.
Symbiotes by Nature. I have a Lethal Protector 1 that was signed in silver ink by Todd in 2020, and then Bagley and De La Rosa 6 months later. And my biggest fear was smearing. I got it pressed by CCS as well. Yeah, I mean, if they're using, and it's funny, I can go.
Wait, did this happen already? Did you get it back and it's safe, or?
Yeah, it kind of seems like, yeah, we'll find out. Next comment. But if it's silver Sharpie, so here's the difference, right? Uniball, I'm going to get real fucking autograph nerdy with you.
Do it, man.
Uniball used to make the paint pens that we used, and the silver paint pens that we use for autograph collecting. But then when Sharpie started making the silver Sharpie, that kind of took the place, and a lot of people really started to get stuff signed in silver Sharpie. Silver Sharpie does not smear because it's not paint-based pen. Anyway, sense. Yeah. I love Sienkiewicz. I can't wait to fucking see this Bill Sienkiewicz. It was 2020, all silver Sharpies. So, and he got it reholdered. So it's all good. It's that book is all good.
Nobody look at my password.
Okay, so nobody can see your password. His password is menu.
Damn it.
RS Cali said faster out the door with the press up front and immediate grade after. CGC prefers not to press after because of potential ink drying concerns. Smears can happen, and they like to limit this by press first. So there you go.
Read that again. Read that again, please.
What? Okay, so RS Cali said faster out the door with the press up front and immediate grade after. CGC prefers not to press after because of potential ink drying concerns. Smears can happen. They like to limit this by pressed first. I just read that.
So the books are pressed first and then handed over for signing, and then after the signing they get graded?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Yibbity yep.
Oh, they're here. Okay, this is where those are. I found them.
All right. And then he said, but if you pay them again, they'll hopefully crack and press it Lots of smears happen because CGC holders the book so quickly after signing and smears. Yep, exactly. Oy, oy. So the guesses on your password are Meg Ryan with 3 hearts, or as Andrew said, your password is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the combination. That's the combination an idiot would have on his luggage. Huh? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the combination of my luggage.
Oh, Andrew, did you see my Meg Ryan poster? Symbies by Nature said I even got it reholdered recently for the Venom label. Oh yeah, he got that one back, so that one went really well. Okay, so I no, I don't need to take it out. These are the stupid bags, but they don't have to come out. So this is the non-signed one, 9.6, because my 9.6s look better than my 9.8s. I only have one 9.8. I sold one. So boom. Dude, I had a blue label 9.8 I sold. I would have had a yellow and blue 9.8 and yellow and blue 9.6s. Anyway.
Well, that just means you have to give me that one. Both of them.
Sure. Take them both. Yeah, take them both. Okay. It's fine. And so that's the unsigned one. But look at the signature on that one.
Woo! Bill Sienkiewicz, Sankwitz. Yeah. Bill Sienkiewicz, Sankwitz.
And this is just a stunning. Like, they could have gave this a 9. This one I'm never going to crack. I love it. I'm happy with how it looks. I don't want to risk anything. I'm not doing anything. This I'm actually cracking and sending back to CGC because this could get a 9.8. So this is just something we'll have fun with, but this is going to remain like this. I love this. I mean, it's not an inaccurate 9.6. It's just a super beautiful 9.6. It could have been a decent 9.8.
Can I say something very quickly? That's not
Thank you. Yeah.
This is not an attack on you or anybody. But we also have to normalize being okay with a 9.6. It's a 9.6.
Stop it.
Okay.
Stop
not
it,
everything.
Dave.
You know why? Here, this is why. They're comic books. Okay.
I'm the 9.9 newsstand. I can't get that far away from the 9.
Oh, I love this. All right.
I call this 9 point knocked over 9. Okay.
How many 9.9s do you actually own?
None.
How many? So
I've had 2 10s. I've never had a single 9.9.
So RS Cali points out a good point. Have you guys seen how quickly the CGC reps take the books from Todd? Half the time, they're
the pen's still on the paper when they're sliding the book out.
Once again,
away from him.
It just affirms your point. They just want your money. They don't give a shit about the quality. That's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's go back to normalizing the 9.6. I'm not opposed to that. There is a really good friend of mine who's a great collector, and he loves buying books, right? And he's in such a beautiful place because he loves 9.6s. He's like, dude, these 9.6s look just like 9.8s to me. I'm not paying 5 times the price because there's an 8 on it.
Exactly.
I want a nice, clean, graded, slabbed book. 9.6s are the ones for me.
Here's the thing, okay? And nobody should be getting books that came out last year slabbed in a 9.8. Like, you're wasting your money. So let's just go back. Yeah. Okay, let's go back 30 years. You get a 9.6 on a book. That's almost perfect. You go back 40 years, you get a 9.6 on a book. I'm sorry. When was the last time you found anything that was 40 years old that looked as good as the day that it existed? I sure as hell don't. I'm 43. Right. I look like a haggard piece of shit. Okay, I'm like a 2.0. All right. Now let's go back even further. Let's go back to 1975. Could you imagine getting an Incredible Hulk in a 9.6, 180, 181? Would you be like, I wish this was a 9.8? No, you'd be like, oh, holy shit, this is a 9.6. Let's go back even further. Could you imagine finding a book from 1950 that was a 9.8? No. Could you imagine? It's just mind-boggling to me. Anyway.
Yeah. So, but at least you're looking at it from the perspective of, like, I mean, obviously it makes sense to look at it from its era to what a good grade should be. Like, if the book was made in the last 5 years and you couldn't get a 9.8 out of it, like, find a better copy. Get the 9.8,
Sure.
But yeah, 20, 30 years old, 9.6s are great. Now, I'm not going to, I'm not going to start collecting 9.6s. This is not what I do.
No, I
know.
But
when I get to old, some books, yeah. I'm super proud of these in 9.6s.
They're great books.
Wizard newsstands, Wizard SDCCs. I'm super proud of 9.6s. A price guide from 1991, a price guide.
Yeah.
I'm fine with 9.6s, you know? 3.16s, I want them to be 9.8s.
Well, very hard books to get 9.8s.
It makes it fun. Yeah.
I mean, look, and here's the other thing. And I'm like you, Manu. There's a piece of this that is a game. And it's like you're playing a game and you're just trying to score a 9.8. I understand that.
Yo, Andrew and Carlos, Symbiotes by Nature and RS. Did you see my Spider-Man 13 that I showed? Have you seen where you hear silently hanging out with us when I showed that? I need 1 or 2 no's, and I'm going to show it again.
Okay.
Because I'm absolutely obsessed with it.
I want to get to Sean's comment because this thing pisses me off to no end sometimes. Graders notes need to be more present in the 9s. If you were given a legit reason for the drop, it might be more acceptable. So me and my buddy, I had 3. Okay, we'll just simplify this. I sold a Clone Wars 1 to my buddy. Star Wars Clone Wars 1, the first appearance of Ahsoka, and the one that I sold him looked really good, and I said, look, it's probably a 9.6, but maybe it's a 9.8. Me and then I had another one, and my buddy Maddie pressed both of them. He thought that the one that I sold to Scotty, Massage Ventress, he thought that Clone Wars 1 was going to be a 9.8, and mine would probably be closer to a 9.6. We both got 9.8s on those books. Okay. I got my grader's notes as no grader's notes. Scotty got his grader's notes as multiple spine ticks with color breaks, and they still give him a 9.8. Makes absolutely no sense. There were no spine ticks on that book.
So they accidentally just in their haste attached someone else's grader's notes to the file for that 9.8.
Or they damaged it and we couldn't see it.
East Bay Comments. What's up? But he's not saying he loves me. He loves you. I love you too.
I love you too. Let's get to some of these comments. You show off your
No, not yet. I mean,
okay.
Yeah.
I was almost glad I was a late submitter for that reason. They're still waiting to be signed. Todd isn't finished. No, he still has 1 signing left. 9.4s are cool. I've got a bunch of really good 9.4s. Would I rather have a 9.8 direct edition or a 9.6 newsstand? It's just, if I'm selling it, I'd rather have a 9.6 newsstand. If I'm keeping it, I really don't care. I really don't care.
Thank you, East Bay. I appreciate that very much. That's a good question. Someone asked a question very similar the other night. A bit of a more gap, said a 9.4 newsstand. No, I think it was a 9.6 newsstand. Anyway, in most cases, for me personally, in most cases, I would rather have a 9.8 direct than a 9.6 newsstand. In most cases. Then there are books that are exceptions, and the newsstands, even in lower grades, are just a crazy multiple over what a 9.8 direct would cost because they're from the era in time where newsstands were not produced, like an Ultimate Fallout 4 newsstand.
Where it doesn't exist.
It doesn't exist. You want that in a 9.0 newsstand versus a 9.8 direct, right? So here's the book, guys. This is for Andrew and Symbiotes by Nature, as well as actually a few of our friends said they wouldn't mind seeing it again. So recently picked this up, did not submit this myself. The person that submitted it opted to not have the McFarlane logo, which I can really appreciate. I love the way that this looks. And it's signed in red. Look how it makes the red spiders pop.
It does. Like it really does something that I've never seen really. Like it accentuates them in a way I've never seen.
I just sold what was my favorite signed copy of this book until this one. It might still, they're both pretty special, but that one was signed big and bold, full Todd McFarlane in silver, and it was absolutely stunning. And I sold it for the price that it would take for me to say goodbye to it. So I am happy. This I just fortunately landed on my lap the other day, and I could not be happier. I've never even thought of having this signed in red. I wouldn't have asked for it to be signed in red. I'm not, that adventurous. This is brilliant. I'm so pleased to have this. So I wanted to show that to you guys. You'll see, friends, I'm going to post it on my page. You'll see it again soon. And hopefully we could pretend it's our first time seeing it on that day as well. Thank you so much. I love you.
So Captain Crockpot asks, does the ink of the signature influence the pricing? It could, but it's like it really,
The
you
ink
know,
of the signature or the quality of the
the
signature itself?
the
Because that
color.
definitely does.
I think the color. I think he was referring to the color.
It does.
Um,
It's eye appeal. Eye
it
appeal affects pricing.
Sure, it does. It doesn't always, because some people will just price it how they want. Some people know they have something special and they price it a little bit higher because it is more
It's
appealing.
not up to the person pricing the book to decide whether it's special. It's up to the person paying for the book to
Well, it's
decide if it's
both.
special.
It's
No, no,
both.
I get it. I get it. But the decision is made when someone purchases it. I can say, I love this signature. I'm charging $10,000 for it. No
Well,
one buys it if it's me and my opinion, right? With no money,
that's true.
right?
That's true.
But if I,
You and your opinion and no money.
yeah, right. So, but I get what I definitely get. But it more so recently, I've noticed because I price based on the significance of the signature. And that's
Sure.
something I recently started to do because with Todd McFarlane, you get such a wide variation of signatures. You know, sometimes you get the little T dot with like he just used
Yeah.
a pencil. It's so thin, it's so little, you barely see it. And then you get this big, bold, full Todd sometimes. I am definitely assessing both of those books two different ways. And if that means it's two different buyers, so be it. Those books, to me, are not the same book. They're just
Yeah.
not, you know. Anyway, sorry for yelling. I'm sorry for yelling. I love you, David. I
You
didn't mean
can
to yell at you.
yell. Yeah, I'm the loudest
Okay.
person in every
Okay.
room.
Look, full Todd's better than T dot. When it's red, it works. All right.
Yeah,
When
it
it's
does.
red,
It does.
making the spiders come to life, I'm taking it.
Yeah, I don't know
And
if Eastbay's still
go
in the
ahead.
room, but Angel, thank you for turning me on to White Gold Industries.
Oh, Eastbay's responsible for that? Nice.
Yeah, he got the Weapon X shirt like last year, and I was like, I need that, and then now I own like 15 shirts from them. So I want to go get something real quick. I'll be right back.
Yes, I'm gonna read some specials.
Give them the business.
Saw one on eBay, saw one on the Bay, looked great. That looks great too. This might be that one, my friend. But if you saw it, that means you saw it like quick, because I saw it, bought it quick. So I wonder if that's the one. And then it's amazing how that brings out the red spiders. Yeah, man, totally. Andrew, thank you. The red is special. Appreciate it. Yes.
I keep forgetting to do this, but for anybody that's familiar with the book club, the last Sunday of this month, we're going to do the West Coast Avengers book club. And this month's book is going to be The Killing Joke. So anybody who wants to read it, please do. And we'll discuss it at the end of the month. Alan Moore, Brian Bolland, Batman, The Killing Joke, one of the greatest Batman stories ever told. So if you like reading comics, pick up a copy. You can get it on Amazon. You can get it anywhere. Go to your local comic store, buy the goddamn deluxe hardcover, spend a little bit of money, support a comic book store, and let's talk about comics.
Yes. Did you throw another thing?
What? I didn't throw it. That was your imagination. White Gold is Bonker is such a cool brand. Yes, the 90s Gamut shirt is so sick. It's so sick.
And that's why I charged the amount I did for the full Todd McFarlane signature on my 1398 newsstand, because it was the crazy best looking one I ever seen. I said, where else you gonna get it? You gotta pay this price. Where you gonna get it? Where you gonna get it?
Killing Joke is such a great. I haven't read it in a bunch of years.
No, big
so
love to my friend that bought it. I didn't talk to him that way. We were both happy with the transaction.
Hey. By the way, we're gonna have a new clip session of me throwing things. Look, I am a brute that has been handling collectibles my entire life. I know how to throw things so they don't get damaged. You want to see me do it again?
No, we don't, because that's a CGC case and something's gonna go wrong.
Tossed with style, comic anarchy. You know, that's so. I would also like to please listen. I'm gonna talk about this real quick again. Manu. This morning I dropped a video which is flexing what I love to do most, and I made myself laugh by this Comic Tim video, and I really hope that other people laughed along with it. It's not insulting. I'm not making fun of Comic Tom. I'm not trying to hurt people's feelings, but I had fun. So if anybody didn't watch it, please watch it tonight, tomorrow, share it. Just send it to Tom. I don't give a shit.
I was just about to say, send it to Tom. These two love each other, okay?
He doesn't know who I am.
They know each other. They know each other.
I have nothing against him as a person. I just not into people that have a channel where they're like, this comic's going to be worth it, this money, and this comic's going to be worth it. And then the next week they're like, let's do it all over again. Like as if, these are things that actually go up and down in value based on what you're saying. And then it actually happens. So anyway,
you know what my favorite thing is? When they're like, not they, anybody, when anyone's like 1,000% increase in sales, and that literally means 10 copies sold, but last week 0 sold.
Right.
That's 1,000% increase in sale. If nothing ever sold or 1 sold and then 10 sells, that's 1,000% increase. That doesn't have anything to do with the price. That's the number of them that sold.
So Andrew and me, we probably are almost exactly the same age. I think we figured this one out. But another famous Dave used to throw pencils.
Who was that?
His name is David Letterman. He used to do this, and then he would just throw.
Yes, that's one of my favorite Daves ever.
I love Dave McFarlane. I mean, what? Dave McFarlane. Anyway.
High off Dave in this mug, man.
Captain Crockpot asked, have you noticed a collector's preference and signature between the writers versus the artists? I think it's really, in what I've noticed, it's book dependent. Amber will probably attest to this, but Claremont is always one of those guys that you see signed with the artist, because he's such the name of the things that he did. But one of my favorite things that I owned that I got from JD, my buddy JD, who I'm doing a claim sale with this Wednesday, as well as Angel, West Coast Wednesday with East Bay Comics and JD. I got a Claremont signed Sienkiewicz and Claremont signed Wolverine number 10. So I think it really depends on the book, but you do see a lot of those writer artist signatures, and that's why they're doing, Frank Miller and Klaus Janson, even though Janson's a inker and Frank is the penciler and the writer, they go together. So you would kind of want that. So I think it's really book dependent. You don't really see that often, Todd, signed books with the writer, because nobody really cares about David Michelini's autograph on the ASM stuff. And then Spawn was the writer and artist. I mean, Todd was the writer and artist on Spawn.
I agree with Symbiotes by Nature here. When it is this makes it looks good. That's all I can say. It looks good, so I like it.
It
right?
does.
And so I agree. But then on my 9.6 newsstand Wizard, I like that it's bold and white, but it's not as attractive as this. It's way over there now.
Yeah.
It's not as attractive as this. It comes together, so I'm totally with you on that. It's growing on me when it's done. Anything that looks good will grow on me. If it's done and looks good, it's going to grow on me. If it's not, then yeah.
Case in point, right here.
Exactly, right? So I love Dave. All right. And East Coast Comics. I mean, East Bay Comics.
Wow. That's your bay.
Yeah. That's my bay. My bay.
Sean just said.
What do you say?
I met Comic Tom in person before meeting me.
That's context, though. You have context. Manu is your Paul. Oh, I'm your Paul Schaefer. I accept.
Yes, I accept that too, because Paul Schaefer was great. Stupid Petrix, otherwise known as the human race.
Man, you said it. Bro, the human race is fucking stupid. I'm so sorry.
It is.
Oh my gosh.
Senny said he had the broken. That's right. When Letterman would throw the pencils, it would have the broken glass. It was like David Letterman was. We're lucky to have lived in the same time as David Letterman.
I had a math teacher, Mr. Connage. I probably shouldn't say people's names, right? I don't know. But anyway, he was a really cool guy. And he was like one of those sarcastic, cynical, didn't care about the rules. Like, he was a jaded asshole, right? He thought people were stupid, and that's how he treated everyone. And I love him for that. It was amazing. He had and speaking of pens, it was my seat, another friend's seat, and the teacher's desk over here. And my friend used to play with pens on his desk, like flicking him against the desk. And one of the pens exploded. And he got ink all over the teacher. And he said, "You little asshole." And I just thought it's hilarious, because we're like 7, bro. We're in middle school math class, and he's calling one of the students an asshole. And I think it's one of my favorite memories of being in school ever.
I love that. Teachers, when you have a good teacher, it makes a huge difference in your life.
Correct. And we weren't 7, we were like 12, but yeah. It makes a huge difference.
It does. So let's do I'm going to do another giveaway right now. Here we go. I'm going to give away this Gunslinger Spawn #1, the Brett Booth Todd McFarlane cover. Now, I love I'm not a gun owner, but I do love the part in RoboCop where Clarence Boddicker goes guns, guns, guns. So the hashtag is going to be guns, guns, guns. GUNS.
I don't know how that's going to register with the algorithm on YouTube, but let's go ahead and try it.
All right, guns, guns, guns. Listen, this is America, okay? They're trying to take our guns. I don't have anything signed by Claremont, but Damon's word. I know. I was just saying, you love Chris Claremont. You're excited to get something signed by him. Andrew, will it float? I remember that.
Carlos, Carlos, Symbiotes by Nature. You look. Did you know? Did you know? Did you know? Did you see? Did you know?
Early Carnage.
Yeah, but he posted this the other day, and I don't think he and I have talked about the fact that. Anyway, I'm gonna post it one day.
He posted a remastered one, right? With that.
Yeah, but on Swipe 2, it has the newsstand and the direct next to the remastered. But you're right. Yeah.
It's a Johnny Romita, Mark Bagley cover.
Who commented? Somebody commented and said, it was a friend of ours. I didn't say anything, but somebody commented and said it's also the first appearance of Carnage on a cover before 361.
I think
it's not true. It's not true.
No, it's just early Carnage.
It's just early. It's a couple months after. And our friend, Symbiotes by Nature, he was being nice. He left an emoji. And in his emoji that he responded to the comment with, in my mind, were all of the words. And the words were, no, that is not true, but I love you for commenting here.
I love that. By the way, Mr. No Love Lamar, there's no spaces in between guns. So it's just as you see on the screen. This is America. This is America. Listen, I have nothing against the actual ownership of hunting rifles and stuff like that, but you don't need a gun that can kill 47 people in less than 3 seconds. There's no use.
It's really guns, guns, guns. All right.
Yeah, hashtag guns, guns, guns.
Symbiotes by Nature says, Manu, I love that Marvel Age 114. I remember when you first got on IG, you were after that book. That was many, many moons ago. My friend, you are truly my friend. You are absolutely right. It was the first in search of post I had ever made. I was like, if anyone has this book, I want it.
It's such a good book.
And then I started buying them after that. And you are absolutely right. Thank you for remembering that. He also said Marvel Age 114 came out a month after 361. There you go.
Okay.
So he knows the comment I'm talking about. And it was very, very politically correct and polite and loving of you to just respond in an emoji. Because I don't remember which one of our friends said that, but I know he's a friend of ours and we love him very much.
This is to my friend Lamar. Can you fly, Bobby? All right. Anyway.
Okay. To Lamar, who understands that reference.
Have you ever seen RoboCop?
Yeah, I have.
Yeah,
it's a really old movie. I definitely have.
Yeah. So when after they rob the bank at the beginning, and the cops are after them, Clarence Boddicker takes his buddy and throws him out of the truck and says, "Can you fly, Bobby?"
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it I always bring this up, and I think it was part 2 because it doesn't seem like it was in as good a movie as part 1, where the millionaire rich kid, he was cut in half, and his top half was on top of the pile of money in the back of the truck.
Yeah, I think that was the second one. Maybe that was the third one.
Yeah, it was one of those.
All right. So
what did someone just say? I saw that.
Penis. All right. Pen is.
Can
I
tell you?
Hold on.
Wait.
We need 2 more people. We need 2 more people to enter. Okay, tell me.
Yes. Pen is. Enter. It was freshman year, high school. This is not a lie. We had a creative writing project, and mine was called Pen Is, and it was creatively comparing a pen to a penis. And the title was Pen Is. And I don't know. I aced it. I mean,
yeah, because it was probably well thought out and actually interesting.
It was good. It was objectively good.
All right. We're going to give away Gunslinger #1, and then we'll get to Captain Crockpot's question, because that's always a fun thing to talk about.
Oh, that's why it's guns. Because that's the character.
Because it's the Gunslinger. Exactly. Guns.
Wake up, me.
Yeah, seriously, you got to get on my my level. It's only 10 p.m. All right, here we go. We're gonna draw it 11 people in 5, in 4, in 3, in 2,
Good luck.
in 1. Good luck.
My earphones died as soon as you said that.
All right, who's gonna win
Hello?
it? Who's gonna
Who
win
got
it?
it?
Oh, Amber's gonna win it.
Amber!
Boom, 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 boom.
Congrats.
Keith David voice. All right, I
Yes.
got you, Amber. Oh, I threw my pen. That's why I can't find it.
I'm taking the books off of my lap because I feel bad handling them.
All
so
right, Amber. All right, top 10 reasons why I'm going to throw this pen at the camera. Congratulations, Amber. All right, let's get back to that question that Captain Crockpot
Which one
asked.
was it?
It says, what technically constitutes as a first appearance? Seems like there are varying opinions of first appearance in many popular characters. Okay. So this one's a fun one to talk about because this room, if you're
Well, the
in this
question
room,
is, are you brainwashed or do you have common sense?
well,
First, we have to frame who's answering the question.
Yeah.
Because by definition, a first appearance would be the first time something appears.
Sure, and so we could take Amazing Spider-Man 299 as the prime example because that one is, I don't own a Hulk 180 or a Hulk 181, but that's another one that's constantly in debate. But you look at the last page of Amazing Spider-Man 299. Now, I think the verbiage should be changed to first full appearance and first appearance because I think the first appearance of Venom is 299 for the two reasons. His name is on the last page, and he is on the last page in full. So there's no confusing what's happening. That is the first appearance of Venom. It says Venom. It shows Venom. 298 has a silhouette in the shadows of the symbiote. That's a cameo. Clearly,
and a hand, right?
I think there's a hand too, yeah. But there's not a full figures. You don't know who you're looking at yet. You have to look at it this way, and this is the way I think we should really look at it. Put yourself back in 1988, reading that comic for the first time. When you read 298, you have no clue what's happening. When you read 299, that last page tells you exactly who that is and what he looks like. That's the first appearance of Venom. To me, that's what it should be.
And I agree with you. I do not have a problem with calling 299 a cameo, only because, even though it could be the first appearance in cameo, whatever. It is an appearance. But the reason I'm fine with calling it a cameo is because the way that I think about a cameo is a teaser leading you into what's to come. And that is very much how he's introduced. It is the full Venom, one of my favorite Venom images of all time.
Yeah.
But it's at the last page. It's not like, I think a lot of people, when they talk about first appearance, they're also talking about like, when did he become like a story and when did he have a life, and this and that. But that's why I was like, literally the first appearance is the first time he appears, and 298 has a hand, so it's a partial first appearance, it's a part of him. But 299 does make sense to consider a full appearance, but a full appearance, first full appearance being the whole story also makes a lot of sense to me. It's interesting that you picked Venom, and it's quite perfect because we could also talk about cover appearances, right?
Sure.
316 they say is the first cover, but 315's got his little face on the corner.
Yeah.
So unless you're blind and choose to be delusional, that is the first cover appearance. What are you going to call that? The first cover cameo? No, that is actually the first time his face appears on the cover. You can't argue that. But 316 is his cover. It's weird.
And it also depends from the perspective you're looking at it, because if you're looking at it from the market or a seller or a collector standpoint, of course you want 316 to be the first cover appearance because the fucking cover is amazing. But
exactly.
But if you're looking at it from the standpoint of like, okay, I just went to the comic store. Last month, Amazing Spider-Man 314 came out. This month, Amazing Spider-Man 315 came out. Oh, look who's on the cover. It's Venom, who we met, 16, 17 issues ago in the first appearance in Amazing Spider-Man 299.
I like. Oh, you sound so something when you're close to that microphone.
I sound palatable. I sound good.
Does this do the same thing for me?
No, it sounds like you're in an echo chamber.
Fuck you, Dave.
So welcome to SunDAVE. Sitdown is the place to be when you're with Manu or with me. So first
I'm
mention.
crying. Oh my gosh.
Covers do play a big part, and that is true. So
You did a great job of answering the question. I did a great job of just like agreeing with every perspective and just muddying it all up.
He does have a word bubble on the top of the last page, Angel. What about X-23? Yeah, that's just her name. Like it's not an appearance. The character is not a test tube. So I just first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, sure, is the first appearance of Cletus Cassidy, but it's not the first appearance of Carnage because Carnage doesn't exist until the name exists. That's the other thing too. There's a big part of it that I think is that the name of the villain or the hero has to go with whatever. Oh God, what am I missing here?
I'm just still laughing that I used profanity here and I said that to you.
Oh,
I
of
just think that's
course.
so hilarious.
And I took it exactly how I was supposed to. Todd does
it's
say
supposed to be I love you, Dave.
exactly. Todd does say 299 is the first appearance of Venom, and I'd like to say WNBC. WNBC. I know exactly what movie that is. That is Private Parts. Amuse Bouche.
Oh, now I get what all this is happening here. I was like, what is a W? What is a W?
Hi, welcome to SunDAVE Sit Down. I would like to talk to you about your Lord and Savior, Todd McFarlane. Todd McFarlane created Venom, and his first appearance is Amazing Spider-Man, issue 299.
Dude, you're so good at that.
Marvel Comics produced this comic. David Michelini was your writer, and Rick Parker was your letterer. WNBC.
I don't mind you being that much in my ear hole.
Well, welcome to SunDAVE Sit Down. This program is brought to you by NPR, public radio for hipsters. Now,
Yo, how it's built or how I built this? How it's built. How I built this.
How I Built This, starring David Wexler of the West Coast Avengers, WNBC, Todd McFarlane.
Dude, David Wexler is an NPR ass name.
It is. I do have a very, very NPR sounding name. I never thought of it that way, but
you're like a Berkeley philosopher.
Today, I'd like to tell you how to build a kale, cranberry, and almond salad with only 3 fingers and 2 ingredients.
Oh, this is going somewhere. This is good. Yeah, he does. Look at everyone's reaction to your voice. It's no nonsense. It's no nonsense.
I'm on a delay on comments, so I'm not seeing anything. The last thing I saw was
they love it all. I love it. Everyone loves it. It's completely different. I mean, you have a great voice, but I think there's few people that can get in the microphone and be that pleasant sounding.
Well, thank you, Manu. I would like to say you're a pleasant person to talk to on a regular basis. And I think that our conversations about Todd McFarlane and Wizard Magazine are something for the record books. And this has been SunDAVE Sit Down on WNBC.
I'm very happy I showed up tonight.
Sweaty balls. I do like the question that he asked about the first appearance because that makes me happy to talk about that. A rose by any other name smell a rose by any other name smell is sweet. A turd is still a turd no matter how many times you shine it up. on WANBC NPR News.
So there's a thing, you know, you really got to double down on this. Check this out, man. You have interesting opinions, you say funny stuff, right? And
Yes.
when you get that close to the microphone, I don't know why you haven't done that before. And on Instagram, on Reels, if you have a great audio, they call it a sound,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It can go viral. You need to sound some stuff.
So you mean I should like take a video of something else, but like I don't know.
Just
Any
say
video.
make a video of a comic book, say some funny shit about it. Watch everybody in the comic book community use that sound and try to duplicate whatever the sensibility and the humor was. And I think it would happen.
I think I found my producer here. Manu, will you produce me? Produce me, Daddy.
Yes.
Well, it would be fun. It would be really funny is if I did a comic book commentary, like me flipping through the comic, but
Oh,
me
he
like
does.
like
Cynicism's
this.
right.
Yeah, I need a soundboard too for broken glass and slab throwing and like when I threw the slab, there should have been a cat like one of those, or a car crash and like somebody screaming.
How do
Uh
you not have that?
I am one person. It
I
is
know, I'm sorry.
so hard to
I
do
get it.
this.
You got a bunch of cool shit. I get it. That's just one cool thing that's still on the list.
Well, the thing is like, okay, so I don't know if people realize, and I'm gonna shoot a video on this. I think it would be good. Somebody gave me a really good idea that I should do this, but like a week in the life of what I do as as it relates to comics, not like when I'm going to the bathroom or whatever. But it kind of like this, right? Like if we're talking about Sunday being the first day of the week, um, I do this show. Tomorrow I help out at a store for a couple hours. Then I start pulling books for my Wednesday sale. Now, Wednesday, I'm pricing, right? And I'm pricing and I'm pricing and I'm pricing. I have my Wednesday sale. Thursday, I do billing and shipping. And Friday, I do shipping. And at some point during that week, I have to edit an entire Sunday episode, come up with the content for tonight's episode. So it's like,
Right.
I have all these ideas and I'm thankful that
All I hear are fucking excuses, and I don't hear you hitting buttons on a fucking soundboard.
Oh shit! Oh god, I lost this. Oh, there we go. I need a producer. Produce me, Daddy. On WNBC.
You ask me like that, you're gonna get a producer. Okay.
I appreciate everybody in here letting me just be a fucking ridiculous goofball because
It's a gift, man.
This is what I love to do.
We're very grateful to be in your presence.
And I just really want to talk about comic books all the time. And I think there's nothing greater in the world than talking about art and comic books.
Is Maddie really a film producer?
Maddie is he was a director. He's done some AD, he's done some producing, he's done a little bit of film. Every like little, piece of it, he's done some of it. Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, he worked on a couple independent films. We all used to tease him that he went out to LA to work in the porn industry. He never actually refuted it. He kind of just laughed it off. This is Star Wars. There's no bathrooms. That's true. There is no bathrooms in Star Wars. Have you ever seen Darth Vader take a shit? Nope. Well, Angel, look,
that's really nice.
I appreciate that, and me and you have our own thing too, and I miss that. The second or third episode of SunDAVE Sit Down was when he and I talked about the Barry Windsor Smith book Monsters, and it was a great conversation.
Nice.
So anytime you want to come back on, the door is open.
Man,
comic books and then comic
really appreciate that comment though. That's really nice.
Yeah, I love our bond too. It's great. It's great.
It's a good one. I'm very grateful.
Amber just saw the Flash trailer. They show way too much. I think they're showing way too much because they need to sell the movie because of all the stuff that's all the controversy behind Ezra Miller and all the things that he did. Darth Vader does use the 3 seashells, and I still want to know what the 3 seashells was. Thank you for bringing up Demolition Man, derper derper do. You will be rewarded in the afterlife. Anywho, that's true. Darth Vader can't shit. Nobody talks about that. He's like half a machine, so he probably doesn't eat.
Yeah, no, yeah, exactly.
So
Peter Parker doesn't age.
That's right. Peter Parker doesn't age. He's still 12, 13 or whatever. I think this is a great way to oh my god.
Taco Bell.
Oh my god. I expected the Flash trailer to be just body cam footage. Woo! The cops don't use body cams. It's a myth. I think he was going there because he's been arrested so many times.
I mean, listen, I think you were about to close out the episode, and that's fine. But I do want to say, I don't know everything about
Ezra Miller.
Yeah, but I knew there was some really inappropriate stuff going on. And even based on what little I did know, I can't believe he's part of the film.
So I've read a bunch of articles on it, and all the things he's done, but also about the movie. They either would have had to shelve this multiple $100 million movie, or they couldn't reshoot it because he was in nearly every scene.
Such a wow.
It's polarizing. It's polarizing because I'm no way condoning, forgiving, or anything like that, but it's very polarizing how published the crimes that he's committed and the things that he's supposedly done, but also in the same breath, I've read some of the things that he's said, and this person is not sane. Like, he's claimed he's been visited by demons. He has claimed all of this weird stuff. And I am, once again, not condoning, not even sympathizing, but like, we're watching this person crash and burn, and everybody's just like, oh, he's doing all these things, not like, oh, this dude needs to get like serious medical and psychological help. But because he's famous, we're all just watching the circus tent fucking burn. And once again, not condoning it. I'm just saying from a standpoint of a sympathetic person or an empathetic person, I'm like, watching this person literally crash and burn and affect other people, and everybody's just like, well, that's Hollywood. But I don't know, like, how do you, from a business standpoint, how do you shelve a movie when you have somebody like Donald Trump as president at one point? Like, we are a nation that fucking loves the people that do awful things. And I don't mean that as the people in this room. I just mean as the bigger we. So anyway, I'm going to watch that movie for free. I won't pay for it, but I will watch that movie for free.
I won't watch it regardless. So there's that.
Yeah. Yeah. And it sucks. It all sucks. But I do want to see Michael Keaton as Batman.
Oh, again. That part. Just, clip those. I'll watch it.
Exactly. And that's the other thing. Like, it kind of sucks too, because, and Mattis is just kind of putting into perspective what I was about to say. He said cancel culture is so stupid because it's clearly that some of these people need help, but it's easier to shame them for the problems. Mm-hmm. And it's really tough because, like, there's other people, there is hundreds of other people involved in this movie that their jobs, this is their jobs. And like, to say, oh, this one person ruined it for every other person involved in this movie that's now not going to get paid or whatever, And so it's tough, and it's a case by case basis, but like, I don't know. I mean, the dude needs fucking serious help. That doesn't mean that we should just like fucking let him kill himself or something like that. That's not right. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Yeah. I don't know enough about it, so I can't add to
it,
right?
And I'm not right, and we're not involved in the situation. But it's outsider's perspective is like, we either watch him crash and burn or we try and get this guy help. I mean, happens in music a lot. I've watched friends of mine in No, I don't want to talk about it actually.
Yeah, fair.
But yeah,
Ending on a high note.
Yeah.
I mean, would you like to introduce the high note? I can introduce a high note. I don't know.
You introduce the high note.
My high note is just this was an incredible evening, and I really appreciate everybody hanging out with us. I appreciate the banter. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the willingness to have me on and share the screen with you, even though I have little to add when you're flipping through historical artifacts and stuff like that. It still means the world to me to be here. So thank you.
You are so much of an honored guest. I'm so glad that you came on tonight. Like, it's my thank you. Thank you. I have nothing to add to that intelligent statement you just said.
Thank you, my friend. Means a lot. And Dave's the one that sold me this poster. Right?
Oh yeah.
He didn't
Beautiful.
that sounds bad. He didn't sell it to me. He told me he had it. I said, I want that. That's how that went down. And I've been trying to flatten it out to frame it. I haven't gotten that far yet, but I found these cool magnetic pieces of wood, these magnet poster frames. They clip on, they hang on a thread. Bada bing, bada boom. I change my poster every week now.
Hey, there you go. Looks great. You look great. Everybody in the chat, you're amazing. And I thank you, everybody. Once again, I'll see you guys maybe tomorrow night, but I'll see you in the chat tomorrow night at the Spidey Hits Show. I'll see you on Wednesday for West Coast Wednesday, and I'll see you every day when I'm just posting zany stuff. I should do another giveaway. Let's do it.
My gosh! All right.
I did promise another giveaway. I promised three giveaways.
What are you giving away? Let me see what you're giving away.
I'm giving away another Spawn book. This is Spawn Universe #1.
I got an idea.
The
I want to give something away. It's not going to be big, but it's going to play part in this poster. I'll be back.
Okay. All right. I'm going to set up the giveaway. Guys, ladies, gents, stick around. We're going to do one more giveaway. The hashtag for this giveaway is going to be 4 letters. WNBC. Hashtag.
Am I on the screen? I am, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Hashtag WNBC. I'm giving away a Spawn Universe #1. This is a McFarlane Brett Booth cover. Actually, no, this is just a McFarlane cover. And Manu's going to give something away as well.
We're going to give away Spirits of Venom, which is the artwork from the poster in a newsstand.
Nice.
So whoever wins this is winning both of these. That means you have to DM me your address as well. And that's that. That's it.
Yes. And if I don't have your address, you have to DM me, or you can email me and give me your address and I can pass it on to Manu.
Yes. Either way.
Amber,
no,
you don't have to
you are capable of DMing me, my friends. You're capable of communicating with me.
That's true.
Let's be friends. Touch base.
Why can't we be friends? Why can't we be friends on WNBC on NPR? This is the West Coast Avengers with my special guest, Manu, the 9.9 newsstand.
Love it.
It's too much pressure. All right. We got 15 entries. We got 17 people in the room. That's actually a really good ratio.
That is.
Because why can't we be friends? All right. Let's do the big giveaway. Thank you, everybody, for sticking around and for being just God awfully great people. See how I did that? I said God awfully great people.
Warlock. I see the 9.9 being written there, and I just like seeing that. I'm not sure why it's there, but thank you, my friend, for
raise good people. All right, let's draw it. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oh, I already drew it. Let's see who's gonna win. My vote is for me. Oh, East Bay almost got it. Oh, Andrew!
Yo, this is cool. Well, Andrew, I don't think it's going to be like a 9.8, but it's going to be like a decently clean copy. I hope that you like it. I will pick the nicer one of these two because I have 2 of them in front of me. The nicer of these 2 will come your way, my friend. Thank you.
You know what? I appreciate everybody in here, and this is a great way to end the show. I appreciate, just everything. Thank you so much.
Yeah, agreed.
To Manu, thank you for everybody for sticking around. This was a lot of fun. I think next week maybe the focus should be more chat and some other stuff. So maybe we'll have you back. We'll see what your schedule's like. You know, you've got, we already discussed this all the time.
Yeah.
Everybody have a great night. Congratulations if you're a Chiefs fan. Congratulations if you're not a football fan. And don't forget to hit the like button. But watch the Comic Tim episode from this morning. It was a labor of humor and love from my psycho brain. Discord, yes. Discord. I started Discord. The link's in the description below. All right, going to play you out how I brought you guys in. We'll do the intro, and Manu, you stick around.
I'll be here.